vanaf, met raad en saam, met leiding en hoop, verdriet en saam staan jy staan. Jy is altyd daar. Dit wat ons doen, ons liefdes, ons vreugdes, ons plekke, ons thuisdes, tot daar waar ons reis, jy is daar. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Al verander straatname, al word helde laat val, ons is net stuur ons arm, ons kultuur, ons verhaal, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, in Afrikaans vir ons mense. Ons is daarmee gebore, die taal waarvoor ons staan, dit vloei deur ons are, ons kinders praat het saam, dit sal altyd bestaan. Afrikaans is ons wese, dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is. Dis die taal waarin ons groet, die taal is in ons bloed, is Afrikaans, vir ons mense. En ek stuur vir jou 'n sein, met 'n boodskap daarby, en waar jy is, sal jy dit kry, en Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense. Afrikaans vir my mense. Afrikaans vir ons mense.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello folks, welcome back to the program. It is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. We're just a little over a month away now from national elections here in the United States. Thanks for being with us again today. Appreciate you being here. And I'm grateful for all the viewership of everyone who watches the content, even for the trolls. I just wish they'd be more open-minded and honest. Well, welcome back. Lots of problems this morning. I'm not really sure what the deal was, what's going on. My streaming software says it connected with YouTube. YouTube said there was nothing there. That's happened before, so I had to be careful, otherwise I had to rebuild the stream. So I went back and looked, and in fact, on YouTube, on my channel, it said it wasn't live, so I canceled it, and then I restarted again. This time it connected. I don't know what's going on. People are having trouble commenting, not just here, but elsewhere on YouTube. Who knows what's going on? Why isn't the Springboks on your jersey of your heart? Did redesign their jersey. This is a 2007 Springbok jersey. Mike is like, oh, is it really? Let me see. Oh, is it really? Let me see. Oh, is it really? Let me see. It is. Oh, which is strange. Let me see. It is. Oh, which is strange. Let me see. It is. Oh, which is strange. Let me see. It is. Oh, which is strange. Okay. Is it better? Okay. Is it better? 100% better. I don't understand what's going on with that. Must be, ever since I got the computer back, that's happening. It wasn't happening. It happened occasionally before that. Don't know if the microphone bad, but I just used this microphone. It might also be the software. I don't know. I just used this microphone to do an interview with M.V. Velman, and the microphone was fine. He wasn't getting tinny sound. So thank you for sharing that, Ronaldo. Yeah, no, I can keep on plugging back in, but that's going to wear out the piece. So, it just doesn't work. Mark Rutte also knows the best former PM out of all European countries now head NATO. Ryan Krieger, thank you so much for subscribing. I don't know that Mark Rutte is the best prime minister of all European countries. I don't think that's the case. The guy is a liberal. He's all right. He wasn't great. Anyway, welcome back to the program. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat real quick, then we'll get to the news. We can talk about the chaos in municipalities, the effort by South African politicians to rule for craven political power, self-aggrandizement, and self-enrichment, not for the benefit of South Africans or the residents of municipalities. We've seen this play out in Tshwane over the past 2 weeks, and we also saw this nearly play out in another location, this time the Western Cape, where the ANC sought to unseat a mayor with no evidence of any wrongdoing, simply allegations of nonsense because they want power. It's ridiculous. This is a problem, again, with the parliamentary system. South Africa must reform this idiocy. And a super chat. Hey, it's Courtney McBride's first super chat of the new fiscal year. We are in the new fiscal year here in the United States for the federal government. He works for the federal government. Well, for the Postal Service. There's my South African flag. Yeah, this is a 2007 jersey. All right, so Brian was having trouble being restricted on something. Ants is having trouble. Ants, the problem, you got to do this. So, look, I mean, I'm not bellyaching. I mean, just the fact is, we all know this channel is hidden. If it was available to everyone and it was promoted like my rugby channel was this past weekend, yeah, look, I can't complain. YouTube certainly didn't do anything to help my channel on rugby for the longest time. But, when you catch fire, it takes off. It's kind of like my original channel had 2 subscribers and people were just jazzed during the COVID scam. They were looking for the content and they came over and boom, we went 23,000 subscribers like that. We were within 200 subscribers or 100 subscribers of overtaking Morning Shot at that stage, which now had 62,000 subscribers last time I looked. But the channel is hidden. You have to know that. If you want to be a viewer of this program, if you want to stick with me, which I appreciate, you've got to make a bookmark in your browser, save it, put it up there so you know where it's at prominently, or put a bookmark, a little icon on your desktop, and click on that so it takes you there in your browser. In your app, it's a little different, but you got to save it. Otherwise, you can't find me actively hidden. Ants goes looking for this channel all the time. He gets frustrated by it. So he's not the only one. A lot of people like that. So I'm sorry it's that way. I don't know what YouTube's so afraid of. My little tiny audience of 20,000. I'm not exactly changing the world. I am bringing honest commentary to the world, and I am also doing what needs to be done by the ombudsman. I'm holding the media accountable for their lies, their misrepresentations, their disinformation, their misinformation. I hold them accountable. So apparently that's one reason why I'm not popular with YouTube, I guess. Anyway, Richard Kuhn, welcome to you. Teresa's here. Pablo Charlie, I said. Mark Purchase is back. Courtney McBride, good to see you, Courtney. Charmaine, Awkward Leon, Monray Siebert's in from Cape Town. Eric is in from Cape Town. Garrett Ants is in from PE. Garrett is in from Somerset West. I feel like I'm in a romper room here. There's Gus. Welcome to you. And who else we got here? So Ronaldo is here. All right. Let's see. Ulrich Fenter is here as well. And then Chris Stan. Hey, Chris, how you doing there? Good to see you again. And then Ronaldo has checked the Semtex for your check the Semtex. Sunday Independent has left the press council. They fall under independent media because press council ruled against them. I expect them to do the same with their appeal. Oh, wow. I didn't see that. Didn't see that. Where do you find that information at, Ronaldo? Please share that, and I will do a video on that. Wow. So they left the press council. So there you go. This continent is made for, but you know what? A judgment against an organization like you've seen the IOL for their conduct, if they leave the press council and they're somehow allowed to continue to publish, that's okay. That is prima facie evidence for a lawsuit against them. You can use that in a lawsuit. Thank you. Checked in a few times to watch, but once or twice started buffering, so I think YouTube's being naughty. Could be YouTube being naughty. Yeah, but thank you for being here, Richard Kuhn. And CyberEggs is back. Good to see you again. What? This continent. Oh, okay, it's continent. Lynette Orr, welcome to you. And then who else we got here? I will personally be delivering my ballot to the county register. Yeah, we saw that yesterday, Courtney. You don't trust your own mail service. Pretty sick and tired of these DA twits about what they're doing in the DNU. I want to see some real change in New Cities Innovation. Well, the problem with that, Pablo Charlie, is you're conflating things. The Government of National Unity Coalition is not municipalities. Municipalities are run differently, independently. As we've seen, the party structures in the African National Congress are not reliable for the ANC when it comes to Gauteng and the Panyaza Lesufi's army of chaos. There is a link. Thank you, Ronaldo. Appreciate that. Let me see if I can get that to work. If it'll work up. Okay. It did work. Cool beans. There was a time when I would click in the studio on a link and it would just take me back to my studio. It would never take me to the link. It was frustrating. There it is. Sunday Independent. Wow. Wow. Sunday Independence announces immediate withdrawal from the press council. Media censorship. No, it's not media censorship. Accountability. I'm definitely doing a video on that when I'm done with this. There's no doubt about that. Oh, wow. Wow. Definitely going to do that. That's crazy. Sunday Independent withdraws from press council and it takes the IOL. I didn't see that story. Wow, that came out 2 hours ago. Okay. Move follows decision by the press council denying the publication the right to appeal a ruling over Edmund Peary opinion piece. Wow. Wow, they got in trouble for an opinion piece. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. I don't know that story, so I'd have to look at the storm will return when CR leaves. Yeah. Nobody trusts the mail system anywhere. Oh, I have no problem with our mail service. Frankly, I do not really care about one of those DA deputies. I think the goal of Lesufi is to become... Yes, it is, scientist. You're correct. Panyaza Lesufi is building a platform to become the leader of the ANC. The people that others have supposed have been the ones who are going to get it, like Paul Mashatile, not going to happen. Ace Magashule cut his own throat. Fikile Mabulula, no, he's a twit, not going to do it. The guy building the structures, the guy building the things in place that will make the difference is Panyaza Lesufi. I'm not saying he's going to be the guy, but I'm saying he's the one working towards it. Honestly, who do we vote for in 2026 municipal elections? I'm so over the ANC, DA, and the rest. Well, Charmaine, my recommendation would be, depending on your position and where you are in life, something like the ACDP or Freedom Front Plus. And I know people have beef with the Freedom Front Plus, but, you got to make a decision here. So what are you going to do? Ronaldo made a short in an IOL. Okay. All right, Teresa. I didn't see it. I've been busy preparing for my broadcast. I also was doing an interview earlier talking about the Springboks. That's why I have the Springbok jersey on. I just left it on. Let's see what else. USPS is fine, but not if you need something delivered on the day. They said, yeah, true. But then Amazon is no longer fine either. They tell you next day delivery. That's the whole. You have 2-day delivery guaranteed by Prime, but then they tell you they'll give it to you, and I get no delay. And they've got two massive warehouses, both within 20 kilometers of my house. One to the east and one to the west. The one to the east is closer. I mean, these warehouses are, they're the size of multiple football fields. They're full of crap, probably hundreds of millions of dollars worth of merchandise in there, and they have almost everything. And they tell me it's going to come the next day, and it doesn't. Although I will say that the Corsair cooling system with the heat sink for my PC did arrive the next day, and it wasn't one of these 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. It arrived about 5:45 in the evening, so pretty happy with that one. So, yeah. Erica needs to apologize for typing mistakes. Don't worry about Erica. I don't think anybody holds you to it. Leon Schreiber talks all day long, for goodness sake, getting pretty sick and tired of just support these people. It's not as simple as that, is it? Not as simple as that. Well, thank you for sharing that, Ronaldo. I'll definitely do a video on that and talk about it. I need to look into that story that they're complaining about because I'm not familiar with that. Hang on a second here. Gotta make sure. What's this? I gotta make sure this is important. Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah. A gentleman who helped me on my campaign, someone who's been around for a long time, very successful, small businessman, not that small though, has become sort of a friend and is letting me know he's down at the beach. I thought it was something important. I've begun exploring the Benai faith recently. It sounds very compelling on a multitude of levels. All right. Dumb coalition, Pablo Charlie says. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Hey, so how you all doing out there? Are people doing well? Honestly, it's challenging. So I'm going to tell you about some bad news for South African banks, which is a clear indicator that South Africa's economy is in the crapper. We know that it grew at 0.4%. That's terrible. Terrible. Ronaldo was on... I saw Ronaldo on Newspod. I see that Ronaldo is giving interviews all over, and I don't blame him. I joked around about getting an exclusive when Ronaldo came back. I didn't get that exclusive, but that's perfectly fine for a couple of reasons. Number one, I tried to remain objective here, and the presumption was that Ronaldo's a pal, and I was covering for him. No, I was honest about Ronaldo, and I was honest about the attacks, the unwarranted attacks on him. So if I had done an exclusive interview with him coming back, then people would have just confirmed their preconceived notions that, well, they're just buds and that's why he did it. Nope. So I didn't get that one. And that's fine. Also, Ronaldo is now back in this business of doing this, and he needs to get out as much as he can, as many places as he can. So that's awesome. He's got out there. I haven't asked him for an exclusive, so there you have it. No, it's not an exclusive scientist. That's a regular scheduled program. I want an interview to talk specifically about things and pull the dirt out, but what names could be named and deeds that could be exposed. But, it's fine. So anyway, why would Herman think a corrupt ANC would give? Look, I don't know what's going on with Herman Mashaba, folks. I really don't know what's going on. I've interviewed the gentleman. He seemed personable. He seemed intelligent. He was a highly successful businessman under apartheid and post-apartheid. He was a good, not great mayor of Johannesburg, but the reason he wasn't great, I always thought it had more to do with the obstruction by the ANC. But look, I don't know what's going on. It's like he's lost the plot, absolutely lost the plot. In fact, I wrote the action essay earlier today, and I did get a response back. Okay. Yep. All right. I've got a response back. Yep. Just before I went live, I had a response back from Action SA. Not about Herman, but just about Action SA is bringing a case against the Minister of Justice. So anyway, yeah, it's, wow, crazy world. So you and RG forming your own political party. Well, we're in two different countries, so unless it was an international coalition, kind of like the Comintern, like the communists, it would not be working. Herman is what my husband... Okay, mashed potato. People are smarter than that. You underestimate your reach through us. No, look, I don't underestimate my reach. I know that the numbers don't reflect reality here. 90 people are currently right now. It's probably a much higher number than that. And we know that. We see people who have their comments removed. We see people who can't chat in here and they've never been blocked on the channel. We see all kinds of things that give us indicators. And look, frankly, when you show up in a country of 63 million people and you're just one face in a crowd walking around the Drakensberg, in the Karoo, in the Eastern Cape, in KZN, in Joburg, in Khayelitsha, and in Parklands, and people come up and recognize you not once, not twice, but 45 frickin' times in a few days, obviously this is BS what's going on, but that's fine. Yeah, no, I saw the news pod in Afrikaans, and I've got to say this. Ronaldo's always criticizing my Afrikaans pronunciation. He sounded like a Kaki speaking Afrikaans. He didn't sound like an Afrikaner. That deep boer, that Highveld, that Leon de West-Transvaal sort of accent there, Ronaldo. I'm like, that's like you sound like an Englishman trying to speak Afrikaans. Not that your language was flawed, but the accent sounded quite strange. It didn't sound very Afrikaans to me. Oh, please, Zach, they call it PE Afrikaans. Dude, it sounds like posh Afrikaans. Ew, going to Stellenbosch. That's right. Would you like a stogie? Here you go. You see, when people zol, they roll. We haven't forgotten that, man. When people zol. So is Port Elizabeth Afrikaans like Valley Girl? I'm like, for whatever. So, okay, totally. It was rad. They're bringing a case against Justin. Who cares? Nothing will happen. Okay, please read our WhatsApp messages. I'm needing help regarding a new wheelchair. Okay, hang on, Erica. Hang on. I'm seeing any messages from you, Erica. When did you send me a message? I'm going to have to do a search for it. Oh, my goodness. You sent me a long one here. Well, that's not it. Can Ronaldo please follow up with my order for new chair? Oh, I'll tell Ronaldo. Okay, yeah, Ronaldo. Erica's ordered a wheelchair from PE company, and she's not getting anywhere. So I will send that information to Ronaldo after the broadcast. Okay, all right, I'll do that. And it's PE Afrikaans, so we can hear them before we see them. Well, look. At least you said you can hear them before you see them, not smell them before you see them. Ouch. That would really be fighting words if somebody said that. My goodness. Oh, it's rag on PE day. Ants is in PE. I better be careful. I don't want to anger my viewers.
You're welcome, Erica. Sorry I didn't see that. I have a lot of messages this morning, including Action SA. Country is shrinking. Just call for a Cape referendum. You really want arrogant? Ronaldo unsubbed. No, don't unsub. I'm desperate for viewers. Ooh, not really. We're here for those who choose to rock up. What's this about MK? Pablo Charlie's... Dude, how do you type that fast? I'd be telling you, folks, the Cape is ready, steady for referendum because the 2020 elections, Panez will gain votes. Trust me, the MK will also rule. Okay. Ronaldo needs a Quaalude. He needs some chewables. We haven't even started the news. You guys are killing me. 22 minutes in the broadcast. The fish and weed smell is less than George. I didn't smell that in George. I did smell it in PE down by the water. That's for damn sure. Oh my goodness! I've been called Scott Balson. I'm so offended, so targeted here. Here, let me give you some thermal paste, Ronaldo. Here, open up. Are you scared of ladies? No, ladies and night don't scare me. Hey, Johnny Metro just subscribed. Thank you, Johnny. Not sure where that subscription came from, but thank you for that. All right, we're taking a deep breather here. Oh, by the way, while Ronaldo's here, for those who are questioning what's going on, because a couple people raised a question. I already covered. Elon Musk. Boy, he tweets all the time. I don't think he does his jobs anymore. He just tweets. Just got another Elon Musk tweet. Anyway, so the whole story. Ronaldo used to broadcast at 8 o'clock, but as an old toppy in his 40s, he can't stay up past 9. So now he has to do a show at 7. So he's done by 8, and that's what interferes with my broadcasts. And I'm not moving mine. I found a sweet spot that, it's not the best spot, but it works. The best spot in my view was always 8 p.m. and Ronaldo had that. And I didn't do a 7 p.m. because typically my broadcasts go for 90 minutes, and I didn't want to interfere with his broadcast back when he was popular and famous. Well, now he's just infamous. Ronaldo was famous back then. Now he's infamous. You don't have to do anything wrong to be infamous, folks. You don't have to do anything notorious to be infamous. You just be mischaracterized by people. I mean, Calvin Coolidge was infamous as a terrible president, but when you actually look at what he did, he was an incredible president. Herbert Hoover was a pretty darn good president, but he was tarnished and painted and tagged with the Depression, which he was not responsible for, but had great success up until that point. So you can be infamous and have done nothing wrong. Ulrich says, PA born and bred, sec is in the flavor. Speak loudly. Say it, don't spray it. Oh my goodness. Best spot is 6 p.m., says scientist. That's why I'm staying here. Yeah, Ronaldo is high by 8 p.m. I didn't know that. That's news. All right, so Gary Green's laughing about loving life. What needs to happen before you accept that the Cape means? Dude, with Pablo Charlie, chilled out, man. Who are you talking to? The audience or me? Look, you want a Cape referendum? Have a Cape referendum. If you vote for independence, then hey, I'll consider dual citizenship. Wait a second. I don't believe in the concept of dual citizenship. That's problematic for me. I'll tell you what. How about permanent residence? Somerset West is calling my name. So's Gordons Bay now. Some lovely people down in Gordons Bay. It's calling my name too. But when the glaciers melt and the oceans rise, I don't want to be that low. I want to be up, a couple hundred more meters because, I don't want to have my house flooded. Climate change, man, it's real. Climate change is coming. It's coming to a neighborhood near you. And if you live in Gorge Bay, the water's going to rise and rise and rise and rise. And then your house is going to be flooded. You won't be able to live there. Won't be able to drive. You're going to have to move a little high. And Somerset Bay is a little bit higher. Or Somerset West, excuse me. Charmaine is against NHI and Bella, as am I, Charmaine, 100%. All right, so anyway, let's get to the news now that we've done that for a while. My goodness. Well, lots of things in the news, of course. Bring Brink back. That's a mouthful, man. BBB. Hey, build back better. No, it's bring back. I can't even say it. Bring Brink back. How does that sound Afrikaans? Somebody tell me how you say that in Afrikaans. Bring back. It's like a really bad rap song. Bring Biden back. Nope. No thanks. We could do a rap song with that. We could get Easy B, right? Easy E. A shark attacked a bather in PE yesterday. The shark is said to recover from Brink. Permanent safe house for you in Somerset West. Thank you for that, Garrett. Cool. We also got a great spot to go to, right? Tiger's Milk. My goodness. My goodness. All right, so News 24 is reporting that the DA is working hard to get Ciliars Brink back into office. Steenhuisen asked Ramaphosa to help reinstate the former mayor. The DA vowed that it would leave no stone unturned in its quest to have the axe mayor reinstated. Sources in the DA's federal executive confirmed that party leader John Steenhuisen is pushing to take the matter to his counterpart. It's unclear how Ramaphosa involvement will resolve the impasse. Yeah, because he has no control over the Gauteng ANC, even though he leads the party. Steenhuisen wrote, "We thank Ciliars and his colleagues for their dedicated teamwork that contributed to the progress that was beginning to bear fruit. We undertake to leave no stone unturned to return them to office in Schwanning." 120 councillors from the ANC, EFF, and Action SA voted in favor of removing him. Here's the problem. Why do you have a parliamentary system? This is what undermined Port Elizabeth. This is what's undermining Schwanning. This is what's undermining Johannesburg. Vote for people and then live with the consequences for 4 years. Listen, Ronaldo on Newspod. First time hearing him in Afrikaans for such a long session. Yeah, same here, Patrick. I hadn't heard him speak that much Afrikaans in donkey years, so it was interesting for me. The DA can screw off. Pretoria is over. Run by illegals. They ignore court orders while not. Yep, there you go. Yep. Oh, Ants knows the number. Cool beans. Yeah, don't share that in here, Ants, his number. Don't do that in here. If you don't have Erica's number, send it to me and I'll send it to Erica, okay, because you've got mine. Okay, all right, yeah. So, look, this may be the bridge on which the DA dies on. If they're going to, look, somebody is going to blink. The DA is stepped forward. Either Ramaphosa will blink or Panyaza Lesufi will blink, unlikely, or the DA will blink. Somebody's going to blink, and someone's going to look very bad over this Schwane situation. Very, very bad. We already have NHI. Any person with SAID can go to any government hospital. We pay tax. Yeah, you're right, Sharp. Same thing here. Anybody can go to any emergency room without any insurance in this country, by law, in every state that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of a single state that doesn't have this, and receive emergency medical care. Yep. What you don't get is preventative care. Well, hell, I don't get that. I have full medical coverage. I don't get preventive care. I mean, I don't get contacted by my primary care physicians. It's time to come in for your examination. Come in, okay, check everything over, look under the hood. Let's get some blood work done, and then come back, 6 months later. That doesn't happen. I can make it happen proactively, but it doesn't happen. The system doesn't work that way. They don't care whether I come in. They don't care if I die. That's just one less thing for them to deal with. That saves them a lot of money. So they don't have to give me doxycycline for my rosacea, which I have now courtesy of this pandemic scam and wearing masks. Yep. How is the Ministry of Agriculture doing? I don't know, Pablo Charlie, because it doesn't make many waves. There are a lot of news reports on home affairs, and we see what they're doing, and some on education, but I'm not on the ground and seeing the actual impact of it. So I can only relay to you secondhand. I'm not a primary source for that unless I'm on the ground. Dumbasses will do jack shit. John Cox, boy, he really doesn't like John Steenhuisen. DA's lost his mind Biden style. They trip more than Joe. Well, the Action SA seems to have lost its mind, at least some of the people in it. Yep. So Chris is against NHI, ANC, EFF, Cape Independence, Bella, anti-Semitism, mostly against you. Chris has got a lot of enemies. Chris Ehlers is like Sheldon Cooper. Pull up my enemies list here. Let's see. Number 26, number 27. You got your enemies list. My goodness. Pablo loves Gayton. Okay, well, I'll try to get Gayton. One of my viewers says he can get him for me. Dead on arrival, folks. Ooh, some scathing commentary for Dali Mpofu. He is castigated by the court. Ooh, Dali Mpofu, whose performance in court resembles more, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Johnny Cochran. More like Johnny Cochran than actual attorney. He gets castigated. Dead on arrival. Supreme Court of Appeal blasts Dali Mpofu and strikes Makwabane's appeal from the roll. Counsel for Ms. Makwabane, who seemed not to be sufficiently well versed with the relevant authorities, was of little to no assistance to the court. I love it. I love it. Exasperated sighs, soapbox oratory, empty rhetoric, political posturing, theatrical gestures, and long-winded dismissive non sequiturs have no place in a courtroom. This is a video that is dying to be made. And where's Walsh and Pofu now defending his brilliant Dali and Pofu? Woo, baby. That one's going to be a good video, too. Flying is a safe way to go on a trip. All we're telling dad jokes over there. Oh, my goodness. I think it's possible if Freedom Front Plus, UIM, PA play their cards right, they can eat the DA from all. They can. They can. The PA can appeal to a broader audience than just colored South Africans, and it certainly appeals to colored South Africans. So in the Western Cape, at least they can eat their lunch. They didn't do it this time. They ate into them a little bit, but they can eat their lunch next time. UIM has got a lot of work to do. It's got a very small base. It needs to really grow considerably. UIM needs to go from what it was in this election to what the PA was in this election the next time. And that's what the PA did last time. It's about the same number of votes, maybe fewer. I think they had 7,000, and the UIM had around 20,000 this time. So in the 2019 election, the PA had like 7,000. Now they have 300,000. So that's what the UIM needs to do. Freedom Front Plus needs to poach back the voters who are fence sitters. They're in or they're out. They're either with or without. They can't decide who they are. And one time they're DA, one time they're Freedom Front Plus. They need to bring those 150,000 voters back to the Freedom Front Plus, and then they need to gain voters, particularly black voters. And a lot of work for the Freedom Front Plus, and I don't know if they're up to the task. All right. So Makwabane's appeal is rubbished. 27 billion rand in losses. Woo, baby, that's some bad mojo. For ABSA, the allied banks of South Africa, First Rand, Nedbank, and Standard Bank. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 largest banks lost their hat. South Africa's big 4 banks, ABSA, First Rand, Nedbank, and Standard Bank, suffered a catastrophic 27 billion rand loss just in the first half of 2024, owing to bad debt. And so we've got the EFF saying that, well, these banks are racist. They don't give loans to black people. 6 million black people applied and half the applications turned down. Well, if you don't have a job and you don't have any equity, you don't have any property, nothing you can offer as collateral for the loan, what do you expect to happen? Wow, it's all racism. No, it's good banking practices. And when they don't follow it, this is what you get. 27 billion rand losses in a 6-month period. Folks, that's over 50 billion rand for the year. Broken down, that's 12 billion rand apiece. That's over $600 million in losses per bank in 1 year, if it works out the rest of the year that way. They can't sustain. That's insane. Absolutely insane. The combined headline earnings of these 4 banks increased by 2.5%, reaching 56 billion. But then they had to write off the losses. Wow, the average credit loss ratio is 100 BPS, lower than 102 the previous year, but still bad. Bad debt. I keep thinking of Taylor Swift. Bad Blood. That stupid song keeps getting stuck in my head. Bad Blood. Anyway, but their bad debt was 27.1 billion rand, these 4 banks. That's another sign that South Africa's economy is moribund. What the heck is going on here? I keep getting phone calls from South Africa. I know that it's a provider. I have my SIMs card and my phone is charged. It's done. Hang on. 75%. That's the one with the 2 South African SIM cards in. South Africa has had a functioning national health facility for as long as I can remember. Yep. Anyway, there you go. So the banks are in trouble. There's a manhunt underway for cash-in-transit robbers, and this time they actually got images of these thieves, or suspected thieves. Robin Lee Franke reports in the IOL the Director of Priority Crime Investigation, Noza Hawks, has launched a manhunt for a group of suspects involved in a cash-in-transit robbery, which took place in Dunoon, Cape Town, last year. Wow, and they're just now finding the photographs of this? Why are they launching a manhunt? That image is from last year. They just go through the footage and discover that they had the guys? Incident took place December last year. Preliminary reports indicated the gang made off with 1 firearm, a magazine, as well as rounds. Is this an old story? Am I getting punked here? No, this is published a couple hours ago. A crew member was fatally wounded during these shootouts. So they killed one of them last year, and they're just now getting around to finding them? What's going on with the cops? Action SA, a party embroiled, or engaged in, embroiled is the right word. They're embroiled in a controversy in Tshwane, has taken action against the Minister of Justice in South Africa. Action SA lays criminal complaints against Justice Minister Simelane over VBS Mutual Bank, but not interestingly enough, no criminal charges laid against Floyd Shivambu, who's no longer in Parliament, or Julius Malema, or the EFF, but after Similani. Action SA has laid a criminal complaint against Justice Minister Tembe Similani over the 600,000 Rand loan that she acquired from Gundo Wealth Solutions during her tenure as the mayor of Polokwane, Petersburg. Wow. Action SA has taken the step after numerous appeals for accountability to the President, the Speaker of Parliament, and the Public Prosecutor, all of whom appear unwilling to hold the minister accountable for what are egregious allegations with serious implications for the vital role she plays in maintaining the integrity of our justice system. And I would encourage Action SA, if it's going to go on this campaign or crusade of going after corrupt members of the government, that they next lay charges against Drs. Whaley and Kesey for Digital Vibes and have the court go to the Special Investigating Unit for the dossier of the prima facie evidence of his guilt in that case. If we're going to start cleaning out the riffraff, let's do all of them. Action SA, I highly encourage you to consider that action. Who will win the debate tonight? I was not going to cover it. I wasn't even going to watch it, but now I think I will, mostly to see how Stolen Valor Waltz does. I don't think many people are going to watch it. I'll have it on the original channel, so if you want to watch it, I'll be commenting live while it's on. Like I said, I wasn't originally going to watch it. I mean, these whole things are set up. There's really no value in it, vice presidents debating. But it would be nice to see Timmy Waltz fail epically. But it doesn't matter. It won't move the needle one way or the other. Bad debt direct result of awarding multiple bonds to demographic that do not actually qualify for loans. Exactly. Same thing happened here. So people forgotten the subprime mortgage crisis here in America, which created the global financial crisis. And the leftist analyst and even people in the center incorrectly, Thomas Sowell wrote about this, as did I, but I was not in the public then. This was a consequence of several factors, one of which is the government intrusion into the marketplace. Most people don't realize that when the credit markets nearly collapsed in 2007, 2008 timeframe, what happened was that 2/3 of every mortgage. So if I bought this house and there was a title to it and I owed the bank $250,000 for the loan, well, that loan was sold like my loan was last year, usually to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, government organizations. Now, they were chartered by Congress to be non-government entities, NGOs, not-for-profit, that were out there to provide a service to people who couldn't qualify for loans. Well, already you've distorted the market just by creating them. Then they were a publicly traded company, so they had stockholders, so they had to return something on the investment to the shareholders. And the way they did that is by buying up loans and packaging them and then making the money off the payments off that, and then paying dividends out of that. So they had a mandate from Congress, they had a responsibility to shareholders, and they ostensibly had clients, which were the people who couldn't qualify for loans otherwise. So most of us don't do anything with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Only 15% of the population or less actually qualifies for a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac sponsored loan. Therefore, the rest of us have to go to banks and get it on our own merit, 85% of us. So that should only be 15% of the mortgage market, but it wasn't. It was 2/3 of the mortgage market. All of that debt concentrated in two companies, which became less profitable because they had to take on subprime mortgages from people who were not creditworthy. Well, those subprime mortgages made up less than 5% of the entire mortgage market. And only 3% of those loans, were bad, which is pretty good actually. But that caused a near total collapse in the global meltdown of the financial system. Why? Because the government intruded the marketplace. And don't forget the Community Investment Act. The Community Reinvestment Act, which forced banks to loan money to people based on their skin pigmentation alone. Not on the fact that they're creditworthy, not on the fact they're good risk, not on the fact they're able to repay the loan. So they handed out billions of dollars to people who were not qualified for loans and was never repaid. That is the crux. That's why the world nearly melted down, all because of government intrusion into the marketplace. There you go. That's exactly what happened there. So I'm not sure why I got off on that story, but that's an interesting one to talk about. Chris, are the citizens USA in general outspoken who they're voting for? No, they're not. People, by and large, aren't. But remember, I haven't been traveling much lately, and I'm in central Pennsylvania in a place that's 2/3 conservative or Republican, and will vote for Trump, most likely. So you're not going to hear many people say Trump remove South Africa of AGOA. I don't know. South Africa is not eligible for AGOA. It has violated several tenets of it. I've done a video explaining about that. South Africa's lack of commitment to property rights with expropriation without compensation. Once that hit the floor of Parliament, they should have been removed for that reason alone. The tariffs they've imposed against us on poultry, they should be removed for that reason. Their actions against our national security interest in sponsoring Russia's invasion of Ukraine, their protection of Russia, their naval exercises with Russia, the Lady R, all of these things violate the tenets of the AGOA Act. Now, you can say, well, South Africa can do what they want. They can. But AGOA is not a right. AGOA is a gift. It's duty-free access to our marketplace, and there's no reciprocity. We don't force you to give us the same degree of access. I can't send my widgets. I can't make thermal paste and ship it to South Africa without tariffs. No, they hit me with what, 25% tariff or whatever it is. I have to pay tariffs to get my stuff into your marketplace, which drives up the cost, which reduces my sales capacity. Well, if you ship thermal paste to the United States and it's in a qualified category, there's no tariffs. So you get an unfair advantage. And we don't mind that because we're hoping for foreign policy objectives, which is access to your leaders and to get your country to invest in its own people and in democratic institutions. But no, it's not a right. It's a privilege. And so South Africa doesn't deserve the privilege because it does not warrant it. And now they're openly in China talking about how China's a great trading partner. Fine, then trade with China. We don't care. Your gold, we'll get gold elsewhere. You get gold from Canada, get it from the United States, get it from Russia, get gold from Australia. We don't get gold from South Africa. Platinum, we can get platinum elsewhere. You produce the most, but it's a fickle market. And the more EVs we have, the less platinum we need because it's used in catalytic converters. Bonds are being worn 100% of net income for the demographic, which is not the norm. No. Yeah, I got you. Well, here, the norm is you never spend more than 35% of your income on your housing. 35% of your income on your housing. I would say that I'm probably spending, let me see, about 27% of my income on housing. But that's because I do a plus up. So I do a plus up. I try every month to put a little extra in. And today, I got to pay my mortgage today. Crap. I hate that. Anyway, but yeah, so I always try to pay it down quicker so that I'm paying more principal and less interest. Anyone visit Lightstone, have a look at the property. Okay, I don't know what that is. 35% combined income. Yeah, 35%, exactly. That should never go above that for housing. Anyway, action says late complaint. So the Lisikisiki mass shooting, the police have a person in for questioning. One person was taken in for questioning regarding the mass shooting of the people in those two families. Senior government officials visited the area to interact with bereaved families. And of course, that accomplishes absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, including Police Minister Senzo Mkunu. Nice change from the cat in the hat. Where has he gone? He's disappeared from the earth completely. The government says it will intervene in the Eskom's effort to increase electricity prices by 36%. Well, Eskom is part of the government, so the government's going to act against government. It's kind of comical. South Africa's government plans to intervene to keep power prices lower than the state utility asks the regulator to allow it to raise. The problem is that, what are they going to do? There is nothing in the story at Business Tech that tells us what they're going to do. There could be a policy intervention we can make to provide some measure of relief, says Ramakopa. But Ramakopa is the guy asking for more money. So how can Ramakopa intervene to lower the prices when it's his business that asks for the increase and it's his government led by the ANC, which will determine whether they can increase the prices, and it's his, self-licking lollipop, man. The whole thing is ridiculous. What's up, North Carolina? Bad mojo, man. Place got whacked by weather. Helene Zilla must not be a crybaby. So says a nobody from the ANC. Zilla must not be a crybaby. ANC's Nomvula Mokonyane dismisses Helen Zilla's retaliation threats over Cillier's ouster, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Mokonyane was speaking at the media following a meeting with representatives from the Communist Party of Vietnam at Latuli House. Okay. So they've gone to Russia for the oligarchs, totalitarian fascists. They've gone to Iran for the theocratic, totalitarian fascists. They've been to Beijing for the totalitarian, fascist, communist oligarchs. And now they invite the Vietnamese communists to South Africa. Is anybody in any doubt that the ANC is a communist party? Okay? That's right, Pablo Charlie. Victim-minded ANC calling Helen Zilla a crybaby. Yeah. What Zilla has raised is her own views, which are not consistent. They worked against the ANC in Northern Cape. They worked with the EFF to nominate a premier for the province. In the Western Cape, they went to other municipalities and worked with other formations to undermine the potential of the ANC running those metros. Listen there, Monkanyane. There's a reason why the DA went with other parties to prevent the ANC from ruling. Because you're corrupt! You're thieves! You've destroyed South Africa! Hello! Monconiani, wake up. Are you not aware of what your party has done? You have ravaged your rapacious, kleptocratic appetite for greed, self-aggrandizement, craven political power, and self-enrichment has destroyed South Africa, utterly destroyed it. You've just obliterated the country. And you talking about Helen Zille and the DA working against you? Of course they're working against you. What are you, an idiot? Good Lord. Wow. There has to be consistency. We are not crybabies. When a decision is taken against us or people opt to collaborate, we don't have an issue. That's where we need help from Helen. No, that's not true. That's not true. If that were true, then we wouldn't see what's happening right now in Swellendam, where the ANC, bumhurt that they're not in charge, has just gone and tried to unseat the mayor. So this is a lie. Oh, we the ANC are not crybabies. When someone decides against us, we just take our lumps and move on. No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not. You undermine governance. If you take your lumps and move on, then what's your problem with Schwane? Why did you link up with Action SA and Herman Mashaba's personal grievances against the party that he abandoned? Why aren't you working with the DA in Schwane to improve it? But no, it's all about you. You are crybabies and you're victims. Unbelievable. I actually heard Herman Mashaba say this is not 1948. What the heck is that all about? Is that a dog whistle? Not 1948 when the National Party took over and began the system of apartheid? What are you talking about? I mean, senior members of your party are white and you're saying that? That's ridiculous. It's a dog whistle. Shameful. The African National Congress has failed in its bid to unseat the Democratic Alliance mayor of Swellendam. On Monday, during a council sitting, the ANC brought a motion of no confidence in the mayor, Francois Durand. The ANC's Amanda Swart tabled the motion, which was seconded by Gladys Libazi. Swart said Durand had demonstrated non-compliance with his duties, obligations, and responsibilities as outlined in the Municipal Structures Act. What did he not do? She added that the vote of no confidence is based on the fact that he failed to address one of 4 infrastructure projects which had neither not commenced or had not been completed. Failed to address one of 4 infrastructure projects. Oh. Can we have more of the story? Is the funding there? Did you ask him about it? How was he supposed to address it? Is the mayor responsible for managing infrastructure projects? Isn't that the city manager that does that, not the mayor? Don't you think? She also alleged the mayor had failed to address increasing concerns around alleged altercations and damages to the local museum. So the people that work the museum and the police aren't responsible for securing it. It's the mayor. Oh yeah, Hendo says, my original channel, people asked me from the time it was restored in March of last year to bring back memberships. I have brought back memberships. I'd appreciate anybody who wants to sign up, going over to the original channel and becoming a member. Would really be grateful for that. That channel is making almost no revenue right now, and it has 20,000 subscribers because YouTube is hiding stuff on there. So if we can get some memberships, that helps fuel attention over there. You can sign up for the lowest level if you want. Do appreciate it. By the way, I'm a member on multiple people's channels, and my freaking credit card, I keep getting Google. Anyway, and some of those channels I rarely watch. I just try to support people. All right, after a secret vote, the motion failed. 6 votes against. The Freedom Front Plus, which is in a dispute with the DA, at least has a good sense not to unseat a DA mayor that's working. John Mersline, I saw you on Newspod. I was wondering where you've been. It's been ages since I've seen you there, John. Called this from the start. I said the ANC will use it to stay in power and then take out. Yeah, well, Charmaine, you're not alone. I also gave it. Durand told News 24 that the motion no confidence failed because it was nothing more than a political maneuver lacking substance or objective justification. And that sounds exactly what it was. Despite the ANC's underhanded tactics to destabilize the coalition and form a new governing partnership with the Freedom Front Plus, the coalition remains intact. For now. I don't know the time of that broadcast. I'll get to that story here in a little bit when we get past South Africa. I find this behavior despicable. This is what the city manager, Schwane, said. Apparently, the people who were booing the mayor when he left the building because he couldn't get the VIP treatment because he's just another counselor, were actually city employees. They should be sanctioned, disciplined, and in some cases potentially fired over their conduct. You are not allowed to use your politics at the workplace when you work for the government. That's consistent the world over, unless you live in a fascist, totalitarian dictator state like the Soviet Union, North Korea, or Brazil. Yeah, no, you can't do that. So this story is being widely reported now. City of Schwane manager Johann Mettler has called out employees for what he says was unbecoming behavior towards DA's former mayor, Celia Brink. Loud cheers and ululation engulfed the municipal offices as employees celebrated the ousting of the mayor. Brink was accosted by a crowd of employees in the Schwane House lobby celebrating his action. They sang songs as he walked out of the chamber after the ANC motion of no confidence was passed. Every single one of those employees should be looking for work today. They violated the ethical code of their job. They're not ANC employees. You don't do that. That's despicable, disgraceful behavior. Every one of them should be sanctioned. Every one of those people should be out of work today. They should be out of work. He was jeered by a visibly excited crowd, and expletives were hurled in his face. I found his behavior to be insensitive, humiliating, degrading, inflammatory, offensive, and despicable. I agree, and they should be sacked. They're ineffective anyway. That's part of the problem. So you can hire someone that can replace them. That's not going to be a challenge. Yep, unbelievable. Well, SABC News reports that black commercial farmers are decrying racial discrimination in Limpopo. They don't qualify for these agricultural unions, so they can't get certified to export their crops. Why don't they sell them domestically? Some black commercial farmers in Limpopo are decrying what they call racial discrimination-based criteria that is limiting their access to export markets. Actually, it's not race-based. They're just not up to the task. But we just pull out the victim card every time it works here. Yet the market forces are quite interesting. It works very on a discriminate manner against those who do not produce. So if you produce not enough or the quality is not in place, then the market forces at the end of the day will make decisions to throw you up in the market. Well, that isn't very good English. I guess that's from Benny Funsale from the Transvaal Agriculture Union. But the bottom line is if your product is not sufficient, if you don't produce enough for the market when the middlemen need it, then they won't come to you. Pablo says he's colored and can say with full confidence, zero remorse, that black people talk about race or ethnicity all day long and are certainly, well, some of them are, not all. Nigeria claims it's being called upon to be the voice for Africa for that permanent seat on the UN Security Council. Their Foreign Minister Youssef Tugar claims. Yep, with the U.S. throwing its weight behind the 2-decade-old African Union push for the continent to get 2 permanent seats on the Security Council, Africa's most populous nation is determined to seize what it sees as its rightful place in the world. Foreign Minister Youssef Tugar is on the front lines of the quest, counting the rest of Africa's support with recitations of Nigerian benevolence while pushing back against any attempt to sell the country short. Well, Nigeria is not a real country. Nigeria is about 6 countries, and it's not the rightful place of Nigeria to be on the UN Security Council, and that's the end of that discussion. Zimbabwe's currency, as I mentioned, is collapsing, a 43% hit on Friday, and still dropping. The gold-backed currency, which isn't backed by gold, go try to get gold, they won't give it to you. The ZiG, or Zimbabwean gold, was quoted at 24.88 to the dollar, compared with 24.39 on Friday. So it's dropping a little bit. It was devalued last week in the face of persistent weakness on the unofficial market. This is yet another failure by the kleptocratic state of Zimbabwe, impoverishing its citizens. Well, the presidential candidate in Tunisia has been jailed for 12 years in another totalitarian act to limit people's access to genuine democracy. This by Kais Said's illegitimate, corrupt, illegal, putschist government. Tunisian politician Achia Samel, a candidate from the North African country's October 6th election, has been jailed for 12 years. The court in Tunis sentenced him to 12 years in prison in 4 cases. He is still a candidate in the election. The frontrunner is incumbent President Kais Said, who was elected in 2019, but then committed a palace coup and did away with the parliament. He dissolved it. Former lawmaker Zamel heads a small liberal party and has been one of just 2 candidates approved by the electoral authority to challenge Said. Wow. The body responsible for putting people on the ballot rejected 14 other candidates, and then they put 1 in prison. Yeah. Democracy? No. Arab Spring? Totalitarians are back in charge of North Africa. U.S. Africa Command commander says that Islamic State has doubled its size in northern Somalia. I'm concerned about the northern part of Somalia and ISIS growing in numbers, said AFRICOM Commander General Michael Langley in an exclusive interview using the acronym for the terror group. ISIS. Wow. Well, that's not good, folks. That's some bad mojo there. Iran plans to attack Israel with ballistic missiles, according to U.S. public release of information. This is crazy. Why are we telling people that? They just launched them? Okay. Well, there you go. Talk about timely. Let me go to Twitter and see if they... Twitter. Let me see what we got here. Iran. Okay, let's see what's going on. Did they launch them? Yep, they just fired in the last 10 minutes. Wow. Israeli citizens ordered to go inside bomb shelters as rockets from Iran were just launched. This is insane. Wow. Yep. Iran has launched ballistic missiles. This is getting out of control, folks. We're going to be wrapped up in this. Mark my words. We're going to be drawn into this nonsense. There's been a shooting by Islamic terrorists that left 4 people in critical conditions in Tel Aviv. Oh my gosh. Good Lord. Why doesn't that come up? Man, this is crazy. The world is on fire, folks. This is insane. So it's just happened. Thank you for that update, Chris Ehlers. Let me see if I can't find a news broadcast here that's covering this very quickly. Let me go to Xfinity. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Stop that. Watch TV online. Okay, come on. I'll try Fox News for lack of a better one, but this takes a little while. This network is not the fastest. My provider, their process of getting to the live TV is frustrating. Still waiting. Now we're there. All right, Fox News. Let me see. I don't care about Pat McAfee. Fox News. Okay, why doesn't it just show up? There it is. Come on, Fox News. Fox News. Here we go. Let's see if we got anything. Fox News channel. Okay. Let's see if we got feedback on this. Fox News. They should be talking about it if it just occurred.
Destroyers that can help with that interception. We saw back in April the SM-3s were used to intercept about 9 ballistic missiles that came in, and they have the USS Cole, they have the USS Arleigh Burke, and also the USS Bulkley in the Eastern Mediterranean. They are likely to be engaged right now. The Arleigh Burke was used back in April and was very successful in shooting down those ballistic missiles. It's also notable, Harris, that we know from the IDF that about
interesting. The screen won't show up. It must be some sort of thing to prevent me from using it.
First lobbing of missiles.
All right. So, yeah, this is live at 7:58 p.m. in Tel Aviv. Missiles intercept over Israel. Missiles launched from Iran toward Israel. Well, I tell you what. Tehran is going to be glass. Tehran is going to be glass. The Israelis will retaliate massively against this. Wow. This is insane. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, that's live. Apparently, it won't come up on the screen for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let me try this. I don't think that's going to fix it. Let me try that. Nope. Let me try this, if this works. Nope, they've got it blocked. So that's some kind of function they put on it, so I can't do it. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on that. We'll come back to it. Israeli troops crossed into southern Lebanon yesterday, after special forces had gone in the night before, launching an invasion into Lebanon. So Israel's retaliating against the Houthis in Yemen. Israel's retaliating against Hamas in Gaza. Israel's retaliating against Hezbollah in Lebanon. And now Israel is retaliating against Iran. Now, all of this, ladies and gentlemen, all of this is made possible by Barack Obama and Joe Biden giving the kleptocratic, theocratic terror state of Iran hundreds of billions of dollars in cash. And on top of that, Joe Biden's feckless foreign policy and his bad messages to the energy market, driving up the cost of energy, tripling the price of petrol, drove a mass amount of cash, well over $95 billion of additional cash, into the pockets, a windfall of the terror sponsor state of Iran. They used that money to fund the Houthis, to interfere with international shipping, and to endanger lives. They used that money to finance Hezbollah and Hamas, killing civilians, and this is what we have now. Yeah, time to buy Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Boeing stock. Well, maybe not Boeing stock. But it's time to buy stock in defense contractors because it's going to get crazy from here. As I said, Israel has launched its invasion of southern Lebanon. It's just crazy. Ground operations. They don't plan any long-term occupation. That's good news. Wow. But as this crisis unfolds in Lebanon, who is missing? Well, obviously Joe Biden. He's like, where's Joe Biden? Where's Sleepy Joe? It's not just Joe Biden is missing. It's the Lebanese government. Where is the government in Beirut? They haven't protested. They haven't done anything for the citizens. It's like they don't exist. And the New York Times actually called this out. Wow. Already crippled by years of economic decline, political paralysis, and other crisis, Lebanon has little but its own citizens' grit to survive the Israel-Hezbollah conflict. Yeah, well, that's because they've allowed Hezbollah to exist. They've ruled that country, essentially, Hezbollah, with their actions. Well, Japan, as I think Pablo Charlie or somebody asked me about yesterday, does have a new prime minister, effective today. Shigeru Ishibe is the prime minister of Japan. He announced his new cabinet, but he left out Sane Takichi, who was a hardline nationalist that he just beat in the elections. So Ishibe announced his cabinet, but omitted Takichi, a hardline conservative and nationalist that he beat 215 votes to 194 in Friday's leadership vote. It's the fifth time that Ishibe has been in parliament since 1986, and he is now leading the country. We'll see how that goes for Japan. Volodymyr Zelensky was flown to the United States at taxpayer expense and participated in a Kamala Harris campaign event at a Pennsylvania unionized factory delivering ammunition for the slaughter of civilians in Ukraine. This is a violation of federal election law. This is a violation of U.S. law across the board. And this should be sanctioned, and Kamala Harris should face impeachment hearings immediately for the conduct that took place here, as well as Joe Biden for misuse of government resources, bringing a foreign leader to the United States to campaign on behalf of the Democratic candidate. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Meanwhile, nobody cares about Zelensky. His grift has ended. Even if Kamala Harris somehow wins, his gravy train is over. His time fleecing Ukrainians and playing the piano with his penis is coming to an end very soon. Zelensky visited the U.S. to seek war boosts. His most important ally just shrugged. Ukrainian troops are losing ground, and officials say more support is needed to hold Russia back. The tepid reception of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the U.S. exposed the narrowing options he faces after 2.5 years of war, which he precipitated. Zelensky touted what he's called his victory plan, an effort to win more weapons and security guarantees from the U.S. But Biden regime officials, long weary of making moves that make Moscow perceive as escalation, expressed skepticism, as well as conservatives and true patriots who don't believe in fueling this conflict. Well, NATO has a new civilian boss, not a military boss, but a civilian boss, and it's Mark Rutte, former prime minister of the Netherlands, a job he held forever. The permanent politician who likes to fancy himself as a high school teacher, but he never does that, just does it on occasion. Yeah, so actually a big role. NATO new chief Mark Rutte takes charge in the shadow of U.S. elections. Incoming NATO chief Mark Rutte brings new leadership this week to one of the world's most powerful sounding roles, helming the nuclear-armed Atlantic Alliance. But even if the former Dutch prime minister wanted to shake things up after taking over from Jens Stoltenberg, he probably couldn't. The reality of the NATO job means Rutte will be heading a risk-averse civilian bureaucracy with hard power ultimately residing with member countries and, above all, with the United States and in the hands of military leaders, not the civilian head. Claudia Sheinbaum, that's right, Claudia Sheinbaum, a Mexican Jew, is now president. Wow. Former mayor of Mexico City is largely expected to follow in the footsteps of outgoing President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the leader of Morena, the ruling party. Well, goodbye, Obrador, you scumbag, America-hating piece of human sewage. And let's see how Sheinbaum does. She's officially taking office today, and she's the first female president of Mexico, like I care. And she's the first of Jewish heritage. So a Jew runs Mexico now. But she's a secular Jew. Not that it matters one way or the other, just stating it. Former mayor of Mexico City and climate scientist. She made history 3 months ago when she defeated Galvez of the Broad Front for Mexico and Jorge Maynez of the Citizens Movement in a landslide election on June 2nd. Well, Canada has been slowly taking away natural human rights away from its citizens. Natural rights, the right to keep and bear arms. This is a sacred right, and the Canadian government has been illegitimately disarming Canadians, and it's not going well. Gee, I wonder why. Canada has banned certain guns, but can't figure out how to collect them. Opposition leader in the Senate criticized the plan, which has cost $67 million without buying back a single gun. So Canadians already spent $67 million for this window dressing program to disarm Canadians. On May 1st, the Canadian government outlawed 1,500 types of semi-automatic rifles, effectively banned handguns by attrition. In other words, you can't buy them anymore, so eventually they'll be gone. And announced a firearms buyback program to take possession of newly banned guns. This came after a mass shooting in Nova Scotia in which 22 people were killed April 18th and 19th of 2020. The killer, dressed as a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer and driving a car that was rigged to look like a patrol car, used an AR-style rifle smuggled into Canada from the United States. 4 years later, as Prime Minister Jussi Trudeau's Liberal Party struggles to keep control in Parliament, both sides anticipate the possible end of the program, even before the first gun was bought. Yep. So here are gun dealers, and it's crazy. They keep adding more guns to it. You see, there's no difference between a prohibited AR-15 and a legal Remington 7.42 semi-automatic. There's no difference in the function. AR-15 looks dangerous and military, and oh my goodness, we're all going to die. There's no actual function difference between two firearms. Correct. Wow. The list of prohibited rifles has grown from 1,500 to almost 2,000 over the past 4 years. It means that rifles that were legal when the law was written are no longer allowed. But if you own any kind of semi-automatic rifle now, or even a hunting rifle, you need to check the restricted firearms list regularly to see whether it's become prohibited. So they are making Canadians criminals ex post facto, after the fact. Unbelievable. Yes, Gabriel, we talked about missiles over Tel Aviv. Yep. Nick says, my posts keep disappearing. Well, I see that one, Nick. What are your posts about? Maybe you should try putting an asterisk or a special character in part of the word so that they don't pick up on it. Netanyahu is leader of a foreign country, just saying. What's that got to do with anything? I have no idea how America gets drawn in. Would look like the left would protest every step. There's a large percent of the right that does. Doesn't matter, Light Rain. It doesn't matter. The president can send troops without, he doesn't care what we have to say. It doesn't matter. The president of the United States can send troops for up to 60 days, and Congress can do nothing about it. The public can do nothing about it. Joe Biden is that incompetent, that far gone, that moron could order the deployment of troops. He could. So, calm down. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, cool. Well, there you are, Nick. I don't know why your message didn't show up. There's a lot of strange stuff going on YouTube today. I had a hard time connecting to YouTube server. I did. My software said I was connected. It was feeding it to YouTube. Nothing happened. That was when we started. So YouTube is getting problems today. It might be cyber attacks. Well, here in the United States, the port strike has begun. These greedy bastards want a huge pay raise, and they are striking. I say screw them. Screw the longshoremen. The union walkout follows last-minute efforts by the White House to avert a strike. This is not going to help the Harris campaign. Strike will cause immediate disruptions at ports that handle more than half the U.S.'s trade in cargo containers. The effects are expected to ripple through the country and the economy, costing $5 billion a day. Wow. U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents the company, said Monday, just hours before midnight deadline, that negotiators traded proposals and said they were offering 50% raises. They're offering a 50% pay raise, and these scumbag, greedy bastards want 77%. Seriously? What the heck? Unbelievable. Selfish pricks. Them getting a 77% pay rise means that my goods go up. Who are they? We are all struggling to make a living and survive. You greedy bastards driving inflation. If you want to see a graphic of what this looks like, folks, I'll show you a map here of the eastern seaboard of the United States, and you can see what's going on here. These are the ports that are affected primarily by this. You can see New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Hampton Roads, Wilmington, Charleston, Savannah, Jacksonville, Miami, Houston. The big ones, of course, being in Virginia, New York, New Jersey, Houston, and Savannah, Georgia, which might surprise a lot of people. Savannah, Georgia is a major container port. A lot of people didn't realize that. But these are 20-foot equivalent units, 5 million TEUs. This is what was loaded import and export containers in 2022. Wow. That's a lot of goods and services that are not going to get to consumers. Wow. Unbelievable. Greedy, greedy bastards. Wow. Well, folks, Boeing's in more trouble here. Their 737 faces yet another issue. Another safety concern. National Transportation Safety Board's director issued a warning letter to the Federal Aviation Administration on Monday. There is a 737 flying in with Mount Baker in the background. U.S. National Transportation Safety Board's chairwoman, Jennifer Homaday, said that 271 impacted parts could be installed on the aircraft in service operated by at least 40 foreign air carriers. 16 of the impacted parts may still be installed on U.S. registered aircraft, and up to 75 parts may have been used in aftermarket installation. Wow. On the 27th of September, the NTSB issued an urgent safety warning for some Boeing 737s, including the MAX variant, because there's a potential for a jammed or restricted rudder control system on some 737 planes. The rudder of the NTSB is referencing controls the plane's side-to-side movement and the nose of the aircraft. Well, that's not good. That's not good. I don't know if the Verizon outage was a cyber attack. They're very mum on that. We'll have to see. So, what's about the UK doc? What's going on over here? My phone is blowing up. Is this because of Israel? Hang on a second, folks. Let me see what's going on over here. Maybe I got someone from Israel contacting me. All right, sorry. Yeah, it's not critical. I thought it was critical. So there we go. Yeah, anyway, what's with the UK doctor strike? Are they on strike still too? Yeah, it sounds like South African Trade Union. Hey, folks, congratulations to James Earl Carter. Today marks the 100th year since his birth, a centenarian. Our first centenarian president, although he lives in hospice and has been there for a better part of 18 months. James Earl Carter. Yeah, the missiles are landing in Tel Aviv as we speak. Jimmy Carter has lived to be 100. The oldest surviving president prior to him, of course, was the recent passing of George Herbert Walker Bush, who died at the age of 94. Yeah, Joe Biden is 82, but he's still in office. So these are the presidents in the 20th century, and Carter is the longest surviving one. 60 being the mark across the center there, and a number of these guys died before the age of 60, some of whom were assassinated. That's the date they became president in the purple and the date that they died in gray. For the first time in American history, a president lived to see his 100th birthday. Former President Carter turns 100 today. Has lived nearly 44 years since his term ended, a longer post-presidency than any other person. His lifetime has overlapped that of 17 other presidents. William Howard Taft was still alive when Carter was born, and Calvin Coolidge was the president. Wow. 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 Jimmy Carter, 100 years old. No, Jonathan, Israel's not dragging us into war. Joe Biden and Barack Obama's girlfriend, Iran, is dragging us into war. Well, little Timmy Waltz and J.D. Vance will be having a debate tonight, and I'll be covering it now. Folks. Minnesota Governor Timmy Waltz and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance take the debate stage Tuesday evening as Democrat and the Republican vice presidential candidates try to attract voters with just a month left before the election. Yep, it's the only debate they're going to have, and it won't be a debate. It'll be a media crap out. That's what's going to happen. So we'll be covering that tonight. I'm not sure the time. Let me take a look and see if I can't find something that tells me the time. Let me take a look back on what's happening now with Israel. Iran launches missiles over all of Israel. The entire country is being hit by these missiles, folks.
Your thoughts about whether this is over or not. And then there's also the question of, does Israel just let this go, or does Israel respond as well? Noting that after the takeout of Nasrallah, Iran moved the Ayatollah Khamenei to a safe, undisclosed location.
Yeah, you better move to a safe, undisclosed location because they're coming for him. They're coming for him. Well, let me see what time debate. VP debate time. Okay. Why can't these people just tell me about it? Look for these things everywhere. So, come on. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want the time. Here we go. Everything you need to know. Give me the time. Should be about 9 o'clock or something like that. Okay. It begins at 9 p.m. Yes, 90-minute debate will take place October 1st, 9 p.m. at the CBS Broadcast Center, moderated by the network's Evening News. All right, well, then I'll do that. The event will be broadcast on CBS and live streamed on all platforms where CBS and Paramount are available. Tune in to CBS News Vice President's Debate. All right, so, yeah, I'll try to show that tonight. Let's see if it works. If it works. After what I just saw happen there, I might not be able to bring in a live stream. I mean, for some reason, I cannot get that coming in right now. So if we try to get this on the screen, all you get is a blank screen. You can hear it. See that? But you can't see it. Interesting.
Iraqi and Syrian Shia militias. And so this is a 7-front conflict, and the Israelis feel that they have to, according to officials, escalate to de-escalate. That is the current policy of...
Escalate to de-escalate. That's why they've gone into southern Lebanon, and that's why they are going to pummel Tehran. I call on South African government now to condemn Iran now. Yes, RJ, I do too. I do. Let's see what happens. Let's see. We'll call on South Africa's government to condemn Iran for the murder of civilians. Yep. There was no provocation for this attack whatsoever. Yep. He was present when I got my brains, says Nick Muller. Okay, it won't last long. Israel's missile supply is limited. Or Iran's. Yeah, no, I think they're done. I think they're out of missiles. Yep. But the missiles land all over the country. We'll have to get more reports about what's actually happening as it breaks. But this story is unfolding as we sit here now. Israel military says Iran launched missiles at the country. Yeah, we know that already. Live updates from the Washington Post. Let's see what they got. Okay. Twitter is a better place to go for this. Wall Street Journal. Okay. Iran has fired missiles at Israel. The country's military said in a statement, sirens can be heard across the country as people took shelter. Attack comes after White House officials said Iran was preparing an imminent ballistic missile attack against Israel. Direct military attack from Iran follows against Israel will carry severe consequences. The attack follows Israel's killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Yep. So it's underway, folks. It is underway. Let's more landing. Hang on a second here. Oh, here they come. There's more coming in now, folks. There's more coming in now. Wow, there are more coming in as we speak. That's the air raid sirens. Air raid sirens in Israel. Wow.
The Harris record is clear. Open borders, relentless inflation, weak leadership. If you want change.
Wow, that's crazy. This is just a few moments ago. You can see that the Iron Dome is hitting some of them in the air. This is incredible footage. I know you can't see it. Sorry for that, folks.
The Israeli army confirms nearly 200 missiles were launched into Israel from Iran. Iran's Revolutionary Guard is saying the missile launches are in retaliation for the recent killings of leadership. 200
missiles. Okay, let's see if I can't get this to come up.
In right now, as the Iran regime now saying that this missile attack, again, is in response to the killing and of Nasrallah and Iranians killed in the recent strikes. And if that justified such an attack, the justification will not likely influence the Israeli response in any way. We should also state from Iran state media, the IRGC saying in response to the killings of their Hezbollah leaders, we targeted the heart of the occupied territories. The Zionist regime reacts to Iran's operations. It will
face crushing attacks. Well, it's underway, folks. It's serious. It's real. We know this. Well, look at this. We got the White House. Someone's actually going to show up and give a briefing. Will it be Creepy Joe? Wow. I'm going to stand by here for a briefing. Department of State, it looks like they're getting ready to do a briefing as well. Wow. This is interesting. So we've got press gathered at the State Department press room and at the White House waiting for someone to come out and speak. So we'll see who shows up. Let's see who's covering this live. Okay. Not many people are covering it live. ABC News is covering it live. Fox News, that's CNN. We're not going to cover that. Okay, so let's go back. We're waiting to see if either of them come out. Yeah, the world is an incredible mess now, and it's all a consequence of Barack Obama and Joe Biden giving Iran hundreds of billions of dollars illegitimately, immorally, and illegally. These are criminals that must be brought to account, Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Barack Obama, of course, the same person who said, a line in the sand. And then, of course, ISIS went past it, and the Syrian government went past it, and he did nothing. He said that this invasion of the Donbass and Crimea cannot stand, and he did nothing. Yep. So I'm waiting to see if either one of these idiots comes up from the State Department or from the White House to tell us what's actually going on. Doesn't look promising. What I may do is do a live stream and just launch into it if it happens after this broadcast. I'll keep an eye on it. But this is bat crap crazy, folks. On Fox News now, they've got 78,000 people watching the stream that I'm watching. Wow. That's crazy. plus another 30,000 on YouTube. That's 100,000 people watching this. Footage coming in live from Jerusalem. Cannot tell me Barack Obama, Joe Biden didn't know what. Of course they knew, Charles. This was intentional. This is intentional. They want the Jewish state, as they call it, to disappear. Yep, that's what it's all about. This is just crazy, folks. And you look at Israel. I've been to Israel. I lived in Israel, and it was not this developed. This is insane how developed this country is. Is this new or old? Hang on a second. There's one. Look. That's the Iron Dome firing in response. Look at those explosions up there in the air. Those are not stars. Here comes one. Missed that one. Missed that one. They got that one.
So this was just moments ago, that eerie sound of the air raid sirens going out throughout
this is insane.
Israel. And you were...
Where is the United Nations Security Council? Where is the General Assembly condemning these attacks on civilians? Israel did not target civilians. They never attacked Tehran. Whoa, there's another one blowing up. My goodness. You can see the Iron Dome. Look, these are coming down. Oh, those are going to hit. 2, 3. 3 hitting that spot. The Iron Dome did not get all of them. Oh, there's a couple strikes in the air. You can see them blowing up the Iron Dome in response to incoming missiles. Wow, this is insane. These people are sick and twisted and need to be removed from humanity. Wow. Targeting civilians. Wow. Unbelievable. Where's it at? Where is the anger? Where is the outrage? Israel is a country with Christians, Jews, and Muslims. Druze are also there. Hey, Roger Rabbit, how's it going? This is unbelievable. At this hour, folks, in the early morning hours in Israel. It's not early morning, early evening, excuse me. I said early morning, it's early evening. Yep. Roger Rabbit's here to help. If you say so. Time to invest in water. Well, it's time to invest in frickin' something. Bomb shelters, maybe. The William Weak Sauce briefing, it's over. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Cannot tell me Barack Obama and Joe Biden didn't know. I already read that. Yeah. This is just crazy, folks. I mean, at the State Department, we're still waiting. There's the State Department. There's media gathered, but there's no people. And there is the White House.
And the president speak. We will bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. We're also, of course, bringing you the coverage later tonight of the VP debate, the first and only one for the vice presidential debate.
Well, it looks like a busy day for me here on Tuesday. I will be obviously reporting on this situation to see what Joe Biden has to say. U.S. should respond with a show of force like never before. I agree, RJ. I agree, but that's what they want. That's what they want. But we have a weak, feckless leader who, if he takes action, will be useless. Remember Bill Clinton bombed a baby milk factory? That was his response, and bombed some terrorists in Afghanistan. That was his response to the attack on the USS Cole. Ridiculous. Well, Boeing won't go belly up now. They're going to get lots of money for this conflict. Yeah, people driving on the streets of Tel Aviv. I can see the Dome of the Rock and the Wailing Wall in this image here from Jerusalem. And a lot of people moving on the roads, despite the fact that missiles are landing. Not at this moment, that they were a short while ago. Agreed. Iran only has so many missiles, they probably shot their wad here. I think it does help Trump's campaign, and it will play a role tonight. Teleprompter being frantically programmed. Yeah, exactly. They're busy pumping Joe Biden intravenously with amphetamines as we speak. Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi, airliners flying over the area are diverting all over. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Let me find what's that? Flight Aware, I think that's what it is. Flight Aware. Flight Tracker. Let's see what we got. Flight Tracker, and see what we take a look at. That's actually a good idea. I want to see. I want to go over Israel. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Airspace over Israel is completely empty, folks. Completely empty at this hour. Wow. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Let me move this over here. We'll take a look at Flight Aware. Actually, thank you for bringing that up. It's a good idea. Talk about this. This is Flight Aware. At this hour, this is what it looks like flying into Israel. There you go. Look at that. You can see Israel's in the center there. TLV is Tel Aviv. There's only one aircraft in the air. Another flying into Jordan. You can see aircraft diverting over the Sinai. And these other ones down here at the bottom of the Sinai, that's a normal flight path for them. What the heck is that? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? You guys hear that? I don't have anything open that should have brought that sound. What the? Where is that coming from? I don't have anything open that... That's strange. I'm looking. I don't have anything open that should be making sound right now.
So we'll be...
Not that. Maybe it's Flight Aware. That's the only thing I opened up that made noise. Well, that's weird. Why would Flight Aware have that audio? There's even audio playing on that. I don't know if that's it, but anyway. Where's this saving at? Oh, it's still there. What the hell is that? Where's that coming from? Where is that coming from? I don't have anything. Oh, it might have been Twitter. I mean, Twitter might have been coming up. Yeah, it's in a loop. Yeah. No, it's not the Iron Dome footage. I think it was a Twitter thing. That's weird. Iran is done for. Yeah, Iran is in trouble here, folks. This is crazy. Oh, somebody put the U.S. South African flag. God protect the oppressed people. I don't know who they're talking about. Israel's about to have a press meeting, too.
We will take it if it is in English. That coming from the IDF as well. So we'll be keeping an eye.
So we're waiting for the IDF. We're waiting for Joe Biden. We're waiting for the State Department, all of which to have press conferences. So what I'm going to do here, folks, is I'm going to... oh, it looks like somebody's carting food through there. What's this guy saying?
Events could be delayed.
No.
Situation that is happening out in Israel.
All right, well, there's nothing there. Bibi, I hope you can liberate the Iranians. Yeah. Imagine the state of Biden at the moment. No idea where he is. Yeah, no kidding. This is a crisis. Remember Hillary Clinton ran an ad about Barack Obama? Who do you want at 3 a.m. when that call comes? Well, that's exactly what this administration has been. Who do you want when the call comes at 3 a.m.? Not Joe Biden, that's for darn sure. Waiting for the aliens. That was supposed to rock up in September, according to WF. The chair is against the wall. Thank you, Light Rain. My Arabic is gone. I used to speak some Arabic, but flushed a long time ago. The chair is against the wall. Okay. Iran is done for. I think I took care of it. It's no longer there now, so that's good news. All right. All right. I think it just started in my browser. Remember, I was trying to look at Twitter earlier, but I wasn't there, so who knows. Firefox does what it wants sometimes. IDF Media Press has been phenomenal since October 7th. Yep. This is so exciting, says Roger. Biden is still sleeping. Yeah, Biden is asleep. Boy, it's mostly pro-Iran, pro-Palestine crap over here in the Fox News chat. They really have the bots flaming it. They're spending a lot of money to make this happen. Wow. I mean, just watching this. Here, I'll let you see the chat, what's going on here. Look at the chat on the right. Look at it. It's just going 100 miles an hour. Well, it's slowed down now as soon as I said something. But look at that. They just keep punching in their Palestine, their Iran flags, the gay flags. Iran with gay flags. That's a bisexual flag. It's so gay, somebody said. This is hilarious. Iran with the... I don't know if somebody's trying to be funny, if that's humor or what. I mean, you know, it's not a safe place to be if you're a homosexual, Iran. Okay.
Fox News, as the White House saying President Biden and Vice President Harris are monitoring the attack right now from the White House Situation Room. Biden directed the U.S. military to aid Israel's defense against Iranian attacks and shoot down missiles that are targeting Israel.
All right, folks, we're in the war. There it is right there. Sleepy Joe Biden has directed the U.S. military shoot down missiles from Iran. That makes us a belligerent. We are now in the war officially, October 1st. Oh, here we go.
We're working to see if we can get a translation here for you.
The Israeli Defense Forces are speaking now, but it's in Hebrew. Just got a call from Israel. They're bombing all over Israel. Women is in panic. Yeah, I know. I heard it. I heard it. Serious Savoy. We're covering that story right now. Yeah, Biden and Harris are underground. Yeah, the missiles are landing in Israel and they're underground. Yep. What would Trump have done if he was president? We would be striking Tehran right now. If Trump was president, we'd be striking Tehran. Not because he's a warmonger, because he shows force when it's necessary. And that's what's needed right now. Yes, Sari Savoy, we know that they've shot pretty much every missile they have, as far as we know. So we're waiting. We covered that story. Yeah, I'm waiting for the press to come out. Okay, Donald Trump has spoken.
Some new updates from Trump as he has just put this message out on his Truth Social.
Okay, I'll read it. We don't need that guy. The world is on fire and spiraling out of control. We have no leadership, no one running the country. We have a non-existent president, Joe Biden, and a completely absent Vice President, Kamala Harris, who is too busy fundraising in San Francisco, a city which he and Gavin Newsom totally destroyed and staged fake photo ops. No one is in charge, and it's not even clear who is more confused, Biden or Kamala. Neither has any idea what is even going on. That is an absolutely brilliant that's brilliant by Trump. I mean, that's incredible. That's powerful what he just said there. That's going to have a huge impact on this race. This is not something the Harris campaign needed. In addition to the longshoreman strike, this is bad mojo for them. Any idiots that vote for Kamala Harris after what we've seen unfold in the past 72 hours is a moron. Yeah, Trump is awake. He's above ground. He's commenting. He's also the only leader who stepped forward and entered to get supplies down to North Carolina. And then when Joe Biden was asked about that, because Joe Biden was sleeping and not responding to the crisis of Hurricane Helene, Trump was down there actually delivering supplies, food and water, and talking to Elon Musk to get Starlink in so people had communications. When all that was happening and Biden was asked about a press conference, they said, Trump's a liar. He's not doing that. Dude, we saw him on camera. What do you tell me he's a liar? Trump was already responding, yet nothing from Harris or Biden. Exactly. It is a little kid on the playground slapping big kids in the face every day because his big brother will show up. Okay, Jonathan. Well, big brother needs to show up because this country is under assault, and it's crazy. Charmaine says, good night. Have to go a little with her reading before she goes to sleep. Okay, well, that's awesome. I'd love to read to little kids. That's pretty cool. What are your chances of being called up? Pretty slim, Erica. Pretty slim. But it's fine if I get called up. I'll go shave this beard off and put on my trousers and hit the road running. Biden only directed the U.S. interception after 100 missiles have been directed against Tel Aviv alone. All right. I wonder what the intelligence chatter was before this attack, or is Iran? Well, we knew about it. We knew about it because it was reported in the press, and these people leak like a sieve. They're constantly sharing classified information in the open. It's unbelievable. So, no, what's this explosion here? That looks like a gas line that's been on fire. That's what that looks like. That's crazy. Anyway, it's it's on like Donkey Kong. It is pretty scary here what's going on in the world. Longshoremen are the last of the stranglehold unions. Their pay is insane for glorified forklift operators. Exactly, like Rain, I agree. And they are going to destroy this country. But you know what? It happens on Kamala Harris's watch. I'm not surprised. But they're greedy bastards. They want a 77% pay rise. They've been offered a 50% pay. Would you turn down a 50% pay rise? I wouldn't. I'd take a 10% pay rise. They want 77%. And they've been offered 50%. News sources confirmed offshore platform was hit. Okay, that's what that was, RJ. Offshore platform. So this is Tel Aviv, not Jerusalem that I'm looking at now. So that's offshore. So they targeted an offshore platform. Wow. Well, Israel doesn't have much energy, so that might be one of the few places they get oil from. Wow. That looks like natural gas. That's crazy. Once again, these are just criminal rogue regime. Where is the condemnation from the United Nations? Where is Joe Biden? This is now over an hour ago that this occurred, or about an hour ago this occurred. And we've yet to hear from Joe Biden. We've yet to hear from Kamala Harris. We've yet to hear from Antonio Guterres, the United Nations. We've yet to hear from the German Chancellor. We've yet to hear from the British Chancellor, Keir Starmer. We've yet to hear from the French. We've heard from nobody except Chris Wyatt. Chris Wyatt. Not a fan of Harris, but I can guarantee you millions will vote for her. In fact, she could actually win. The Corrupt USA. Yes, you're right. She could win. Para One, thank you for the 140 Rand to get us started for the month. You and Courtney did it. Okay, here's Iron Dome firing. This is old footage now. This is now old footage from a short while ago over Tel Aviv. This is in Jerusalem. It's Tel Aviv. There you go. Iron Dome firing. You see the missile leaving from the ground. Here they come in. There they are. Look at the top of the screen. You can see the explosions up there. There's one. That one got missed. At least 3 hit the ground that we saw. Several were blown up. Look at the 4 up there in the air on the left-hand side. Iron Dome firing again on the left-hand side. A second round, a third round going up to target those 2 more. There's the Iron Dome missile. It's going up to hit these, intercept these coming in. Here we go. Do they get them? Got one. He missed. Got that one. Got that one. But there's parts of it still came to the ground. That's the 3 that hit right there.
All right. Again, so that was moments ago.
Wasn't moments ago. Now it's been about 45 minutes ago now at this point, not moments ago. Crazy stuff, Sean. I was wondering where you're at. Calling for more improvements to the Iron Dome. This cannot be opening for goodness. Cannot be happening, says Pablo Charlie. Ben Shapiro's posted something already. Let's see what Ben Shapiro has to say. I assume it's on Twitter. We're waiting for any of these clowns to actually come on. And hang on a second. Ben Shapiro. Yeah, Ben Shapiro's kind of lost the plot a little bit. He's live. Okay.
Act of war. Obviously, is the second act of war in the last 6 months directly by Iran. The fact that Iran has been forced to fire ordnance from its own state into Israel demonstrates the weakness of their current position. Typically, Iran would use its proxies. It would activate Hamas in order.
Yeah, well, that's one approach to it. But Ben Shapiro is live, and we'll go to Ben now and listen in for a few seconds here as he talks about this. I'm going to figure after me for copyright.
Months to fire direct ordnance from its home territory into Israel. And Israel's been preparing for this for absolutely years. Again, all of this is coming amid new evidence that Hezbollah was ready to invade en masse after October 7th. According to the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, is the Times of Israel reporting, the army revealed that 3,000 terrorists were in position to storm the Galilee. The Galilee is the northern part of Israel. Strikes drove them away, and commandos then carried out 70 forays into Lebanon to seize weapons. So they were ready to go, even in recent days. The IDF briefed reporters on the new information before IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari held a briefing in Hebrew and English presenting.
Yeah, so that's the bottom line. So that explains why Israel invaded, because they were about to do an anniversary attack into Israel into Galilee from Lebanon. So that's why they went after Hezbollah. So there you go. But no one's been sharing that. No one's been talking about that. So that's out in the press now. The Times of Israel also talking about it. Was stereo for me for a moment, says Charles. What was stereo? What, the sound? No, the sound's very good in Ben Shapiro. He's got, I have a big room here. I don't have the tight closed thing like Jeremy Nell has and like Ben Shapiro has. Ben Shapiro has a lot of money, and he's well known because he's been a published author since the age of 17 and promoted endlessly by the interests that want him to do well. I like Ben Shapiro, so I'm not speaking ill of him. But the bottom line here is that there's a reason why he has that capability. I don't have that kind of money to do this. So, yeah, what was I looking for? Is this a stage setting? Is this a stage-setting attack by Iran? No, I think it's a temper tantrum, and they're going to suffer immensely for it. The people of Iran will suffer for this. There will be a lot of civilians that die as consequences. Wonder how the left will go about defending this. Well, they will. They'll blame Israel for it. They'll blame Israel because it's engaged in war with the Houthis, who attack them, with Hezbollah, who is preparing to attack them, and with Hamas, who did slaughter them. And they'll blame Israel for it. Your feed and his feed going out at the same time. Oh, that's the stereo. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All right, cool. But I would like better sound quality in my studio. That's why I switch to the boom mic sometimes, because it had better quality, but then it wasn't very good quality and recorded last time, so I had to switch the orientation of it. Joe Biden is yet to come up. We're still waiting for Joe Biden. Still waiting. Joe absent Biden. Yep. Crazy missing guy. But Ben Shapiro Live, let me see how many, does it tell you how many people are watching it? He has 93,000 people watching it. Well, I envy that. I have 85. He has 1,000 times more people watching his program than mine. All right. Yep. So some people are already sharing things of the missiles landing, and that's interesting. So let me see if I can't find some of that footage. People have already put on Twitter. Twitter. Let me look for Israel. I tried Iran earlier, and it didn't get any videos. Okay. Let's see if I get any videos coming up. Israel's under massive attack. Iran is raining rockets, and remember this when Israel answers back, and for sure they will. Israel will definitely answer back. Okay, that's the video I saw earlier. Oh, wow. What's this one? No, that's the video we've already seen. My goodness. Nothing here is really... Okay, this one's pretty good. Let me go show this. Crazy footage from Massal strike. Okay, so hang on a second. Here you go. This is some footage that came out of Israel. Let's take a look at this one here real quick as this unfolds. We got better footage out of Ukraine when the war started than we're getting out of Israel at the moment. So these are hitting, man. Iron Dome didn't take any of those out. Oh my God. Iron Dome failed spectacularly here. Wow, folks, most of those missiles got through. My goodness, let me see if I can count how many hit the ground out of that batch. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, at least 11 missiles. Let me see how many of those get taken out. 1, 2, 3, 4. One had already hit. Okay, here we go. Let me go back here. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 missiles at this spot alone. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow. 16 of those missiles hit. The Iron Dome only hit one of them. That's an epic failure there. That's crazy. And this is on top of the terror attack that occurred earlier where people were shot and murdered. Wow. This is at a train stop. People just murdered by Islamic terrorists. They're dead on the train there. Well, those people aren't dead. But then here are people out just waiting for a train just slaughtered. Slaughtered by these clowns. Wow. Unbelievable. So this is where Hassan Nasrallah was at. That's what's left of the spot where he met his fate. That's the bomb that Israel... Man. Yeah, the Iron Dome is getting overwhelmed. It's a lot. Wow. It's crazy. Wow. This is insane. Oh my goodness, here's another one. The Iron Dome is not able to stop all missiles. Those strikes in Israel funded by Biden and Kamala have given Iran billions and result in massive retaliation. So when Israel retaliates, get ready. This is another, look at all the ones getting through here. Sorry about that, folks. I must have bumped the mic. Thank you for that, Shawnee. Yep, Colonel is no longer muted. This is what's taking place at Israel at this hour. Fires, destruction, the death of civilians, crimes against humanity being committed by Iran, a terror state that must be brought to book for this. Wow. So I don't know how true this is, but someone on social media is saying the Tennessee National Guard is not available to help with flood relief in Tennessee because they're deployed to Israel. I don't know if that's true. I haven't seen any deployment orders, but check this out. This is says Nick Sorter, whoever that is, says Tennessee National Guard is nowhere to be found eastern Tennessee despite massive flooding and missing people. Why? Because Biden and Harris deployed them to the Middle East today. People are trapped in their homes. The state simply does not have the resource to handle all this now that their National Guard is overseas. So I don't think the entire Tennessee National Guard has gone overseas. But look at this flooding. This is epic. Check this out. This is hectic. Look at this. Houses just washing away. It's freaking end of days, folks. The church is holding up so far, but nothing else is. This is insane. This is biblical. This is end of days. And these bastards are striking, and it's just absolutely end of days, ladies and gentlemen. This is bat crap crazy. I don't know what to tell you. This is absolutely insane. Wow. End of days level destruction here. That's just crazy. Unbelievable. Wow. No, it doesn't look safe. And these people are just hanging out there taking images. I appreciate that. Yeah, as I said, yeah, so there's context here. They said the Tennessee National Guard is assisting with rescues. 700 members were sent for training in Texas on the 28th for deployment to Kuwait. Yeah, so it's unrelated. That's what I figured. Nick Sorter. See, that's the problem with that. That's why I said I can't believe that's true. So let me see size of Tennessee National Guard. See, this is the problem with people like that don't know what they're talking about. The Tennessee National Guard has 10,700 members. 700 are in Fort Hood undergoing training and prep for deployment to Kuwait. It's normal deployment to Kuwait. See, that's the problem with these sensationalists on there. That's the difference between Nick Sorter and me. I don't fall for that BS. He's just pulling this crap. I knew that wasn't true. I knew that couldn't be the case. No way that that's true. 40 trillion gallons of water into the South, record-breaking. That's insane. Folks, I think it's safe to say that congratulations to Donald Trump becoming U.S. president for the next time. Well, I hope that's true. I saw that post about the National Guard being called away to another country instead of helping. It's not true. It's not true. They're not being called away. They're being deployed as part of a normal deployment to replace troops in Kuwait, and they're in training. Okay, now we finally got some footage here in Israel. Okay, why is that in silent?
So a lot of different...
Okay, that was silent because there was no audio on that. River, it looked hectic. It was hectic, Charles. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Many houses in the USA are wooden houses. That's true, Charles. That is true because you use the building material that's close at hand. We also have a lot of houses that are made of stone in the Northeast and even here in Pennsylvania because the ground was littered with stones. The soil wasn't particularly fertile. And when we plowed 2-3 centuries ago, we had to dig up the rocks, and we used the rocks to make our fences, stone fences, and to build our homes. Although everything built today is made out of wood. This place is made out of wood. A tornado would whip it apart in a second. Let's hope we never have one of those. Yeah, the world needs Donald Trump. The world is falling apart. Ladies and gentlemen, this hour, Cyril Ramaphosa is at the lectern, and he's here to discuss gender-based violence, not Iran's attack on Israel. Wow. Wow. The climate in the USA is more conducive to wooden houses. That's true, too, for much of it, but our climate is varied. We have tropical, we have temperate rainforest in the Northwest, we have desert, we have high desert chaparral, we have temperate forest, we have everything under the sun. We have tropical in the South. Yeah, the climate is so it just depends. Wood houses don't do so well in Louisiana. They rot unless they're treated properly. Yeah, here in the Midwest, or not Midwest, but the Mid-Atlantic, that's wood houses work fine. Although I prefer to have a stone house. Waiting instructions. We're ready to assist in whatever we want to occur. Well, I don't know how you can assist, Roger. I saw you keep offering. Let's raise a middle-class family for every question in my Kamala voice. Yeah, she's raised a middle-class family. Anyway, we're still waiting for Biden. Not there yet. Ben Shapiro's got 109,000 viewers now. Let's see what he's got to say.
In Jaffa, apparently they were Palestinians from Hebron, which is Hebron. Security forces did kill both of them. So they were from the West Bank. They were coming from an area that is particularly radicalized. Again,
Yep. So here's Benjamin Netanyahu in Hebrew.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו בעיצומה של מערכה נגד ציר הרשע של איראן. אמרתי אתמול שאל ימים של הישגים גדולים ואתגרים גדולים. הישגים גדולים כי סיכלנו את נסראללה ואת צמרת הפיקוד שלו ואת התוכנית של חיזבאללה לכיבוש הגליל. אנחנו נחושים להחזיר את תושבינו בצפון בבטחה לבתיהם. אבל מנגד, אתגרים גדולים. מה שאני מבקש מכם זה שני דברים. אחד, להישמע בקפדנות להנחיות פיקוד העורף, זה מציל חיים. ושנית, לעמוד יחד. נעמוד יחד איתנים בימי המבחן שלפנינו. ביחד נעמוד, יחד נלחם, יחד ננצח. אזרחי ישראל.
I don't speak Hebrew, so I really can't help you with that. If anybody speaks Hebrew, then you can help us out. But I don't know the story there. Wow. Who is Tim Sheehy? Oh, that's the Navy SEAL. So Ben Shapiro covers him, but not me. Yikes. Anyway, yeah. Crazy stuff. So he's still going. Anyway, it's crazy. We're waiting for any of these people to come up, and none of them are coming up. So don't know what to say about that. Anyway, wow, crazy, folks. Many U.S. homes have attics and cellars. Yes, exactly. I have a cellar, have a basement. It's pretty large. It covers most of the surface area of the house. Pretty big. Of course, the heating system's down there and a few other things. But lots of storage space. Have any, what's it? What? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. It says JP Dreckmar. I don't know what you're saying, man. Yeah, it's Hebrew. I don't know Hebrew. I speak a lot of languages, but Hebrew's not one of them. Yeah, I don't know. Well, they gave he's speaking Hebrew. They gave the subtitles in Yiddish. Yeah, he's speaking Hebrew. Two different. Anyway. Yes, you were raised in a middle-class family. Got it. This reminds me of 9/11, but that coverage was much better. It was, Charles. Let me see if I can't find something from CBS or CNN. Let's see what CNN's saying now. Where is CNN? Sky News is up. Let's see what Sky's got to say. And we'll look for CNN. Right Side Broadcasting is covering Trump, but he's not speaking now. CNN. This is CNN. Oh. Yeah, okay. NBC, there's CNN. Okay, let's see what they got to say. All right, so I'm getting ads here. I don't want ads. Yeah, ads. Showing me mushrooms. I care about mushrooms. All right, here we go. CNN.
Israel launching a ground operation in Lebanon. The military just announcing it's conducting raids against Hezbollah along Lebanon's southern border.
That's news. That's from
yesterday. I want to go straight to Jeremy Diamond, who's in northern Israel, along that border with Lebanon.
So CNN is reporting Israel's invasion of Lebanon while civilians are being butchered and murdered by a terror state of Iran. This is CNN's Erin Burnett. This scumbag, that's what she's focused on right now. She's focused on Israel's Operation Lebanon, not on the terror attack on Israel civilians. Wow. This is just perfect. Wow, unbelievable. 2:21 a.m. And it's not 2:21 a.m. What does that say? Are we being punked here? What's going on? That's from last night, I think. That can't be now. Is this live? This isn't live. This is from last night. Sorry, my bad. Here we go. That's Sky. Let's see what Sky. Sorry, that was CNN that said live, but it's a recorded video. My bad.
In April. But after the April attack, despite it being coordinated, despite hours, days of warning that Israel and the United States received for it.
Look at that.
The warning this time round was, just a few hours, frankly. We found out...
bullshit. The warning wasn't a few hours. Are you stupid, you arrogant asshat? Sky News is usually reliable, but this is bullshit. We talked about this last night.
That wasn't a few hours ago. That was last night. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Yeah, man, there's a lot of missiles hitting it. They're getting pummeled. They are getting pummeled. Hundreds of missiles. Wow. Debbie says, Chris, you're so observant. Yeah, okay, well, were you being facetious because I missed it or because I caught it? Yeah, big crap coming. South African government will be on the wrong side. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Once I end this broadcast, stay tuned because as soon as these clowns go live, Biden or the State Department, I will go live for that. So, yeah, so hang in there. So I'll set it all up. And what I'll do is I'll set it up for later so that when it goes live, I can just go live, okay? Yep. So this is crazy. Missiles launched from Iran toward Israel. We're talking about a lot of missiles, folks, hitting obviously Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, all of the country. Oh, it was. I wasn't sure it was a compliment, but yeah, I have. See, but that's my critical eye, Debbie. Just like the Tennessee National Guard, the video, that hectic video of the flood, and the guy's like, the Tennessee National Guard has been deployed to the Middle East. This is Biden, Harris at work. No, don't do that. Don't lie. Don't mislead because that just confuses everything. There's no reason to have that conversation. The Tennessee National Guard is helping on the ground. This is biblical. It's end of days, folks. They've hit an offshore platform. They target an offshore platform. That's crazy. That's pretty good precision to actually hit that. That says that's scary that Iran has that kind of precision over that distance. Lots of crying Muslims in coming weeks. Oh yeah, would the Iron Dome would ignore missiles that we're not going to hit? See, no. They try to take out all the missiles that they can get. Yeah, no, I try to be observant. So the Tennessee thing was BS, and that was BS because it was last night. It was listed as live, but it wasn't live. They should change that. Yeah, so I've got Fox on live right now that I've got in the background. I've got Sky, and let's see what they're saying.
Just 2 weeks ago today, 15 days ago now, with the pager attack on the Tuesday 2 weeks.
All right, so that's that, and there's no CNN. Here's ABC. Let's see what ABC is moaning about. CNN. That's not CNN. That's News 18. They're giving CNN feeds. There is no CNN live feed on here. Oh, these ads that come up are just ridiculous. So ABC News, 17 million viewers or followers, and they've got 3,000 watching it. So let's see what they've got to say.
Will Israel decide to hit infrastructure and all the surrounding ways that Iran survives and makes money, or will Israel decide to go straight toward leadership and possibly Iran's supreme leader?
These are actually good questions being asked by this journalist or commentator on ABC News. If I was Israel, I would target leaders and their petroleum infrastructure. I would obliterate the petroleum infrastructure. It will affect oil supplies around the world, but mostly Europeans. And Europeans are anti-Semites and hate Jews and hate Israel, so too bad for them. That's what I do. Mackenzie said Hamas is a group that should be destroyed. Speak underwater, Hebrew. Oh, that's why Debbie says you're here for the truth and honesty. Okay. Amphetamines should be pumped in. I don't know. We're still waiting for Biden to come up. Biden and Harris. This is crazy. Man, this is unbelievable. Folks, we need to see lots of crime. Okay, so yeah. We've got several people now that are throwing lots of Israeli flags up there. Okay, here a U.S. defense official said the following.
Update from Jennifer Griffin showcasing U.S. defense official statement saying, on accordance with our ironclad
commitment to Israel's security, U.S. forces in the region are currently defending against Iranian-launched missiles targeting Israel. Our forces remain postured to provide additional defensive support. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this right now. The United States does not have a mutual defense treaty with Israel. Joe Biden has made us a belligerent in this war. Just like Barack Obama, they love to start wars and cost Americans their lives and our treasure and our fortune. And you're going to say, but Bush did that. Well, Bush did that in retaliation. Barack Obama attacked people with no reason. He attacked Libya. He attacked Iraq. He attacked Afghanistan. He attacked Yemen. Barack Obama was a warmonger. And Joe Biden is also a warmonger and now getting us into a conflict. SA missile tech SF was given to Iran by Mandela. I didn't know that, Robert Taylor. Thank you. That's serious. One should guess IDF were the only ones called to restraint and rationality. 110 ballistic missiles, 200 cruise missiles fired from Iran. Where are you getting that from, Elma 5 Pence? I'm sure I've seen at least 60 of those missiles on these videos. Even Qatar supplied arms to Libyan rebels, the father Emir said himself. I'm not arguing that what he did was wrong. I'm saying he's a warmonger. He started one conflict after another. Skilled in Speech says, trying to start a world war to prevent elections from happening. Very smart, Biden. Well, that doesn't affect our elections. It doesn't affect our elections unless bombs are falling in our cities, which is highly unlikely. We'll have an election. We don't delay elections. We don't have a parliamentary system. Our election by law is on Tuesday, November 5th, and I'll be at the polling station for it. Hey, somebody's using the Moai. I'm not the only one to use the Moai in their icons. Yeah, so apparently Biden can't be bothered to get up and do something. Let's see what Ben Shapiro's got to say.
Inflation never happens. If I win, we'll have peace in the world again. If Kamala gets 4 more years, the world goes up in smoke. And that, of course, is correct.
Yeah, that's coming from Trump's comments and posts on Truth Social. Moments after this began, Donald Trump is already on the scene, already dealing with this, already talking about direct from Israel. Okay, well, let me go to the Times of Israel and see what I get from there. Times of Israel. Times of Israel. I don't want Times of India. I want Times of Israel. Times of Israel. Let's see what they've got up. And they've got Israel told they can leave shelters after Iran attacks with 180 ballistic missiles. Israel braces widespread attack. That's from earlier. Wow. Death toll in Jaffa from the terror attack is revised to 6. Israeli airspace reopens after Iran's attack. Flights slated to resume in the next hour. That was 8 minutes ago. Police say report of suspected terror attack in Israel was false alarm. Okay, so people getting a little excited about things there. Wow. So this is from the Times of Israel. See that? Look at all those missiles, man. That's a lot of missiles. Look at them. Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Celebratory gunfire sounds in South Beirut as Iran attacks Israel. Celebratory gunfire erupts in Beirut's southern suburbs. Lebanese state media says after Iran launched an attack on Israel in retaliation for the killing of allied figures. Heavy gunfire heard in the automatic weapons from areas in the southern suburbs rejoicing the missile launch. An AFP correspondent, Agence France Presse, also reports the sound of gunfire from the Hezbollah bastion, which has been hit by heavy Israeli raids. Death toll in Jaffa terror attack revised to 6. 9 others were wounded. One of the terrorists was armed with a rifle while the other had a knife. The pair shot and stabbed civilians on the Tel Aviv light rail before continuing foot. Which is odd. Where are soldiers at? Wow. Israel's airspace reopens after Iran's attack. Police say report of suspected terror attack was false alarm in the other area. Wow. This is insane. I always say Trump exaggerates, but boy, he was right, wasn't he? Yeah, of course he was. Of course he was. Well, apparently it is. They probably fired all the missiles they had on hand. We'll see. But we should still be hearing from Biden and from the State Department. Yep. Yeah, Biden has no idea what's going on. I'm pretty sure he's an Android clone, says RJ. Possibly. Yep. They celebrate like Hamas celebrated, then Hamas cried. Yep. Iran is done for. This is it. This is war. This is an act of war. Iran has declared war on Israel. And the United States has entered the war as a co-belligerent, courtesy of Joe Biden. Did he even make that decision? We are now embroiled in a conflict in Iran, a country that we've avoided conflict with since 1979. Well done, Joe Biden, for dragging us into another war. Yep. Well, Tehran will be glass, and many people will die as a consequence of this stupidity. Yep. Wait till we haven't even seen any of the casualties. There's no way that people weren't killed in this. Multiple bombs, multiple missiles landed. As I said, at least 15 of those landed in that one area on that one video because the Iron Dome took out one and the other 15 got in. Wow. Somebody's writing in Indonesian. What the heck is that? Anyway. Wow. What's the bigger picture? I think the bigger picture here is the incompetence of Joe Biden and the frustration of people around the world has led us into an era of perpetual conflict. Perpetual conflict. Not that we've ever been out of it, but perpetual larger conflict. We've had ongoing conflict forever in Somalia, in the Sahel, in Chad, in other places. We had conflict in the Balkans, but now we have major conflict, Russia, Ukraine, a major conflict here in the Middle East. It's an era of perpetual conflict. It's not going to go away. Wow.
It's pretty scary stuff. It doesn't make them look weak. It exposes their weakness. That's what it does, Charles. It exposes their weakness. They are weakness. They are nowhere to be found. We're now talking some time ago. Wow. We go back to the Times of Israel, what they say. What did LMI5 Pence said? LMI5 said 110 ballistic missiles and 200 cruise missiles. Okay. They say 180 ballistic missiles. Wow. That's crazy. Updated 31 seconds ago. IDF imposes new closed military zone along the border with Lebanon. Yep. So it's coming fast and furious, folks. Wow. Hezbollah was ready to invade en masse after the 7th October. We covertly raided 1,000 sites. Wow. So that's what they were going to do. They were going to strike again on the anniversary of October 7th. Yep. All my shattered nerves. Antifa's probably putting their ski mask as we speak. Yeah, so exactly, RJ. Iran says Israel will be targeted again if it responds. Well, we will see. That's a bluff on their part. That's a bluff on their part. So IDF says Hezbollah was ready to invade. Army reveals 3,000 terrorists were in position to storm Galilee, and strikes drove them away. Commandos then carried out 70 forays into Lebanon to seize weapons, raise tunnels, and sites. Wow, look at that. Those are tunnels along the border they just destroyed. And this is what they found in them. These murderous bastards, all they do is plan to murder. Look at all that stuff they found in there. Israeli Defense Forces revealed this week that even before it officially launched ground operations in southern Lebanon, its troops had conducted dozens of secret cross-border raids, which we knew about throughout the current war, destroying numerous Hezbollah positions, tunnels, and sites. The army also disclosed that days after Hamas's 7 October mass onslaught, thousands of terrorists have been positioned near the Lebanon border in a plan to storm Galilee and unleash similar carnage there. Wow. Army says special forces has since then carried out more than 70 small raids. According to IDF, troops in the raids over the past months silently reached over 1,000 sites in southern Lebanon, some of them several kilometers from the border fence, including tunnels and bunkers where the terror group had stored weapons. IDF said the sites were located both inside Lebanese villages and in forested areas. Wow. According to the IDF assessments, some 2,400 Radwan terrorists and another 500 Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists trained by Radwan have been waiting in southern Lebanon to attack Israel in the days after the attack last year. Wow. This is crazy. Look at this. That's a tunnel. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at all this stuff. They're digging out of the tunnels. This is insane. Infrastructure amazing, yet they can't provide services to citizens. Exactly right. People are suffering in Lebanon, but they've got this. Same in Gaza. I'm not defending Biden here, but wouldn't he want to first speak to his advisors and heads of military before addressing the public? Well, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you make a very good point. But the problem with that story is, of course, the United States intelligence told Israel, they probably found on their own, but told Israel the strike was coming last night. I reported last night that the Iranians were about to strike with missiles. I reported that because it was in the open source press. So they've had a full 12 to 18 hours to prep. Biden should have been aware of this the moment it happened. He should have been awake when it happened. He should have been informed when it happened. And it's now been an hour and a half since this occurred, and nothing to be said. If I were president of the United States, I would have been out there within the first hour saying that tonight Iran launched as many as 380, possibly 400 ballistic and cruise missiles at civilian targets in Israel. This is an open declaration of war. The United States has used its Patriot system to intercept some of these missiles. This cannot be tolerated. This naked aggression, this attack against civilians, this is a crime against humanity. Iran is a pariah state. There will be more to follow. And that would be it. That's all he's got to do. That's it. Yep. It's because they're doing all these extramural activities they cannot provide basic services. Yep. Bro, get out, bro. What? Make Israel great again. Well, I don't know what that means. Isn't Israel great already? Expose is a better word. Okay. Yep. Anyway, wow, folks, we've been going for 2 hours on this. What I'm going to do is end here. Thank you all for being here. I need to
take a look at that press council thing. I also need to research that, and then I need to pay attention if they go live for a press conference. So I'll set it up, and if we never do the stream, we never do the stream. But I will set up the press conference when it goes. Okay, so just look for that. Want to see response from Bibi? Yeah, fair enough. I didn't know about Iran's warning system. Yeah, no, it wasn't Iran's warning. It was in the press. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The press released it. I talked about it on yesterday's broadcast. I said that Iran is going to fire missiles at Israel at any moment. That's what the press reported. So it was open source, not even from any intelligence sources that I report that. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, let me shut down Ben Shapiro before I forget that. I don't want to forget the Ben Shapiro thing because I don't really need to listen to Ben Shapiro. Really not doing it for me. He's still talking. Let me see what he's saying.
Terrorists, they've put out a headline. That headline is, quote, breaking. The Israeli military says Iran has fired missiles at Israel, and air raid sirens are sounding across the country. What do you mean says? What do you mean says Iran has fired? Like, everyone can see the missiles.
Yeah, he's making a good point there. Yeah, they're making it as if it's not credible. I never did get to all the news. Did I? I never got to all the news. Vance, and there were two more stories. Let me cover those very quickly. I want to cover. I never did finish the news because of that breaking story. So in a Florida town ravaged by storms, homeowners all want to leave town. Well, quit living in ecologically fragile areas and let nature live there. These people living in the Everglades and on the edge of a swamp, and they're complaining about what's happened to their homes. Well, you shouldn't move there. It's dangerous. Look at this. Premiums are likely to increase again. Property damage from last week's Category 4 storm could be as high as $26 billion in Florida. Wow. Or in the whole area, I should say. Wow. Down the street, Dominique Tomlinson and her husband, Leon Tomlinson, filed a claim for items they lost in last year's flood. They didn't want to go through the headache of filing another claim for the contents of the home this year with a separate $5,000 deductible. Wow. That's crazy. 2 days before Hurricane Helene hit, they rented a moving van to haul many of their belongings to a storage unit she bought for her storage unit for her home 4 years ago for $199,000. Wow. So she bought a storage unit for $200,000 to move her stuff to whenever the weather comes. Stop living in dangerous areas in Florida, folks. Yep. All right. And then this silly story on Gateway Pundit. This is making news too. Disturbing wave of cat disappearances hits U.S. town. Officials doubt wildlife is to blame. In Bangor, Maine, 20 cats apparently are missing. I guess this is a play because there's a bunch of Somalis living in Maine. I don't know if that's the connection they're trying to make because it's Haitians that reportedly eat cats, not Somalis. So I don't know what's going on there. All righty, folks. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks a lot for being with me today. Crazy stuff as Iran makes its move. Thanks a lot. I'll put up a marker for the press conference and we'll go live if it happens. Anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you there. God bless. The world is on fire, folks. And the people in the White House are not up to the task. Cheers. Frankly, I don't think the people in the DoD might not be up to task. See you later.